So first is going to be Kerala.
I just want to say before, look, let's be absolutely sure that because of these high voter turnouts, it becomes very, very difficult for people like Mr. Tiwari to call today's election today itself. It will be difficult. So phase 2, we should hold back, which we are doing till tomorrow. Phase 1, which happened a few days back.
Later on, we will put out in the night.
No, phase 2 will be put out tomorrow.
Phase 1 we'll put out later in the night.
As we have decided. Phase 1, of course, in
later
the evening.
But first we'll do Kerala, God's own country.
Yes, that's
we have
right.
to go to God's own.
That's
Jahan सबसे पहले election खत्म हो गया था.
Let's put out the countdown clock.
Shall we do the clock?
The most sober election that has happened probably in Kerala.
But
right?
Very competitive election.
Very competitive. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll take another 5 seconds just to be clear of the EC's danda. Oh, देखो उन्होंने 20 seconds और कर दिया. Saying that नहीं, देखो EC has said 6:30. We'll start at 6:31, but let's stay in the clear because your watch can show a different time than mine.
Yeah, mine is
on the side of caution always.
On the side of caution always. So 9, 8, 7. So let's go with Kerala. That's what we're going to do, viewers. Exit poll prediction, CNN News 18. Kerala, Assam, Tamil Nadu, Bengal. Over the course of the next 3.5 hours, we're going to take you through all this exercise, and whatever are the numbers, we take no responsibility. It's all on him.
If it is right, then you take credit. If it is wrong, then put it on me.
There you go, the first numbers. Kerala, 140 seats. The first zone that we're showing you, North Kerala, LDF, UDF, and the NDA. These are the seat projections. LDF is actually behind the UDF here. 16 to 20 seats for the LDF, about 140 seats. North Kerala, 48 seats in North, 16 to 20 seats. 28 to 32 for the UDF, 0 to 1 seat for the NDA. Smita Prakash, ये रुझान सही है, or do you feel that they have a chance here? It could be tighter for Pinarayi Vijayan.
I feel that it could go tighter. I don't believe that that it's going to be so clear. I can't. Yeah, no. I just feel that it could be a little tighter than this.
First dissent note has come in. Smita Prakash, please explain yourself. What are these numbers?
Essentially, if you see the range, I think the range has been put out.
The range has been put. 16 to 20 is the range.
North, you just put one range.
Only one. We've not put everything. One by one.
See, North.
थोड़ा तो suspense रखें.
In North, there is a Muslim majority. IUML is the strongest in the North, which is your Mallapuram, Venad, Kozhikode areas. So this is the strong point of UDF. In 2021 Vidhan Sabha election, a large section of Muslims had actually voted for LDF because of better management of COVID. That's how they had won on a higher number of seats compared to 2016. This time, there is a significant consolidation of the minorities in favor of the UDF, and that's why we see that this stronghold is going back to UDF. Also, in the home state of Pinarayi Vijayan, Kannur, there has been significant rebellion also against the CPM. A lot of independent candidates contesting either as backed by UDF or on the UDF symbol.
When you say minority vote, you mean Muslim vote or Muslim and Christian vote? Because there
Christian comes in the picture in the central.
Only Muslim.
Kerala, if you were to break it, North Kerala is Muslim dominated, Central Kerala is largely Christian dominated, and South Central is Hindu. So that's how the spread is. And so North, you'll also see some Hindus, but Muslims dominate.
So one small point before we poke holes into Amitabh ji, just want to say, last time the exit polls on Kerala, by the way, directionally all were right.
Yeah.
So let me give you the whole average. There was Jan Ki Baat, there was Axis, there was VMR, there was Today's Chanakya, CNX, Sudarshan News, ABP, C Voter, and there was Polstrat. The average poll of polls was 82. Actual result was 99 in LDF, and that was a history defined.
Correct.
So usually there's always a flip and a flop in Kerala, but even then the pollsters that stuck their neck out got it right.
And they gave the windows.
Directionally, they got it right. So the fact that we are still early days, we don't know what's going to happen in Central and South.
Yeah, so we're looking at what directionally could happen. This is what is in North Kerala. There are other two regions also. Let's move to the next region and then see what happens. Chetan Bhagat, is also looking at these numbers, but he's quiet. So this is
I'm
26
quiet because
seats.
nobody's talking that the NDA has not been able to make any inroads because this was. I mean, I agree.
Sir, ये तो 0/0 ही है अभी भी, because
हाँ.
despite the Sangh being present there in density,
they really
in
have
maximum
been
number of
trying.
shakas, BJP has not been able to crack
Normally, the BJP, if it tries for so long, manages a little bit something.
Huh.
But it looks like it's. I mean, I don't know how does one even arrive at 0-1. I mean, that was like, sir. What I mean, is it really hard to crack the code there, which has worked everywhere else?
But this time, certainly, the BJP is confident of winning a few seats.
So you're
I will
disagreeing
still
with
not-
this?
Certainly not so low.
We
because I
put
think
the
this
other one. So central
with-
also it is the LDF catching up a bit, but again UDF with the nose ahead. So again 27 seats here and 26 seats here if you were to take the median. Yes, Nalin.
So I'm saying that that if this result holds, then it is a reversal of what happened in the last election.
Yes, in 2021. It's a
So the
reversal.
welfare measures and all don't seem to have worked because here again you're saying it's Christian. When you talk about minority vote, it's Christian vote.
Yeah.
So the welfare measures probably have worked in advantage in the north one in the sense. You're talking about having
no,
been
there
to
is
the
anti-incumbency against Pinarayi Vijayan and the left. That's one point. The other thing is the state. There are a lot of people who are not happy. But thirdly, it's to the BJP's fault that it's not been able to make inroads in Kerala.
BJP is not
No,
responsible.
certainly, in
So
terms of
it's
vote
to
share.
the
We're not
BJP.
talking about RSS.
They will
They
get
are-
vote share. They won't get seats. They'll get vote share 2-3%, 4% bump up, but that's not going to give them
No,
seats.
Amitabh, will you be giving vote forecasts also? We
Yes,
certainly see
yes,
a big
yes.
We'll
jump.
see.
show you
We'll
the
see
vote
that.
share. We're
But,
going to see the
sir,
vote
there are many who are saying that Vijay and TVK will do better opening their batting in Tamil Nadu than the BJP will do in Kerala, despite batting such a long test match. So, like Jeffrey Boycott, you batted 4 days, but you're not been able to match the vote share that he will do like a
I mean, we'll
Vaibhav
see the vote
Suryavanshi.
shares also later,
So,
right? We'll show us.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but there is a case here for the BJP that they've not been able to crack, despite the fact that the Prime Minister, after 2 big elections, the first trip he's made down is towards Kerala and to Guruvayur, indicating that I want to win this and we need to move in here and we need to seed ourselves. It's not happened. Let's see if it happens in the
It
near
takes
future.
hard work to win every state. And
Yeah, it is,
every
obviously,
state,
sir.
Every state can't be won
And
in 5
sir,
years.
Where
this
have
is
you
the big
shied away
test.
from that?
This is God's own country. So you got to win here. And despite
Obviously.
the Sabrimala misstep by the left, despite the entire narco jihad, love jihad, the ISIS cases, and all of that happening, so many issues that came in. Now look at this again. South also, out of the 39 seats, 19 seats to the left, 18 seats to the Congress, the UDF, and about 2 seats, 0 to 2 seats. So this is where they can break into the assembly and break account. This is the chance. This is where they have a chance in Thiruvananthapuram and 1 or 2 of the other seats here in South Kerala that the NDA can make inroads. They may pinch in vote share, and that may harm the left, and perhaps that's why the UDF may gain more seats. And again 18. So that's how they get into a position where they seem to be able to get past the halfway mark. That's what the UDF seems to be able to
So
do.
Rahul Gandhi
Overall,
will be a happy person today then.
that I don't know, but Amitabh Tiwari, is this getting stuck somewhere, or are they going to be comfortably passed?
No, see, essentially, in a state which throws out governments every 5 years, 10 years is a long enough time. So there's a lot of anti-incumbency which has been built in. Secondly, the big hoardings and posters of Pinarayi Vijayan across the state, that's the only poster which is visible, gives an impression to the voters that this is the same person who will continue for the next 5 years if the left front comes to power. So there is the significant governance fatigue. While welfare schemes are doing much better on the ground, the health and education facilities, the LDF has done well. There is also good amount of pension schemes for the widows and the old age. But there is a governance fatigue, and that is what is helping the Congress. If there was any other party, they might have won 90 to 100.
Let's bring in MA Baby.
The overall seat count also we can put out.
The overall
Yeah.
seats are also out
75
there.
for the UDF.
Yes, 75 for the UDF. Let's go straight across to Mr. MA Baby. Mr. Baby, thank you very much for joining us. This is Rahul Shivshankar. It's as of now that while it's been a close contest, the LDF might be slightly behind, might not quite retain power. Mr. Baby, your first reactions?
You see, you are now making this observation on the basis of various exit polls. In our party, we too have a process of exit poll. That is the report our booth agents give to our local level party leaders, LDF leaders. On the basis of that assessment, after the polling having been completed, we have an assessment after the election voting process having completed.
Yes.
According to that assessment, we are sure about having a majority from 75 to 85 seats. This is our assessment.
Okay, Smita Prakash.
Would you still hold that the BJP doesn't need to win seats in Kerala, that they are helping the LDF, that the BJP is the B team of the LDF? Is that still valid now that the voting is over, everything is done?
That allegation is a tissue of lies or a naked fabrication. LDF can never have anything to do with BJP. On the contrary, in Kerala, in Thrissur, there is a panchayat where Congress and BJP are sharing panchayat leadership as president and vice president. In Ernakulam district also, an NDA partner and Congress are sharing presidentship and vice presidentship in a panchayat. I don't want to go into the history, how they had common candidates for BJP, Congress and Muslim League in 1991. You senior journalists would understand. Mr. K.P. Unnikrishnan, who was the LDF candidate in 1991 Vadagara parliament seat, he was opposed by a common candidate of BJP, Congress and Muslim League. That understanding still continues.
But
let's
Mr.
run
Baby,
everything.
Namaskaram. This is Anand
Post
Narasimhan
to jo bhi
here.
lagane, dusre
This time
channel
around, many believe that the LDF also faced a lot of factionalism, a lot of internal rebellion, and certain pockets which are strong pockets for the LDF. There seems to be an erosion of support. And of course, there is anti-incumbency. The trend largely says you may come close, but you will fall short of the majority number. How is it that you are confident that you will perhaps be very, very clear, 5 to 7 seats clear of the majority or the halfway number?
You see, the observation you made that there is some element of factionalism within our party, that is not true. It is true that few people who used to be in our party or LDF, they, due to local problems and their own ambition to be in the parliamentary fray, they walked out of the party making allegations, and UDF, due to their own calculation, they thought that those who have walked out of LDF and CPM may be fielded as candidate.
Right.
This is not going to affect CPIM or LDF.
Right. We'll see how it pans out, Mr. M.A. Baby. I've got to move on quickly. Thank you very, very much for speaking with us and joining us this evening. We wish both sides all the best. Just getting a quick confirmation, viewers, of the final numbers, how they will settle down. Now, this is what the CNN News 18 Vote Vibe exit poll projections tell us, that 70 to 80 seats could go to the UDF, 58 to 68 seats could go to the LDF, 0 to 4 seats overall is a possibility that the BJP can do. And then the other
coming in.
Yeah.
As we've said, we're also going to be giving you a poll of polls, viewers,
Yeah.
on Kerala. We have the P-mark poll of polls. And in that, we have a situation where the UDF is getting 39% of the vote. The UDF is getting 39% of the vote, 71 to 79 seats, which is very approximate.
Again, 70 to 80 seats.
Exactly,
It's
which
the
is very
same.
approximate to
Yeah.
vote vibe.
I'm going to check if we can get
And
the poll of polls
LDF
behind
is
this.
38%, 62 to 69. BJP is 15%, 1 to 4 seats. So it could even get 2 or 3 seats here. Others 8%, 0 to 3 seats, and that makes up 140. So that's and the Assam is also being called. And
Yeah.
at the bottom of
We're going to put
screen,
Assam.
you're
We're
seeing
going to put
Assam.
Assam. So let's
Poll of
get
polls.
Assam, and we'll get the Kerala poll of polls behind
Yes.
here whenever it is ready.
Yeah, we'll
and
just
we
put it
can.
on the cordbell and I'll go up to
let's
that.
quickly bring in Assam as Suman C. Raman also joins us. So Kerala going the UDF way. Let's look at, so that's the Kerala 140 seats exit poll projections. But we'll also put the poll of polls right behind here, viewers. The moment that is there, we'll draw your attention to that right behind where our guests are sitting. But here, let's quickly move on from Kerala to Assam. Let's bring in Assam, the various regions, zone-wise. We'll try and put the Assam numbers one by one. Is this going to be a runaway victory? The Assam numbers here, please. The Assam numbers here, poll of polls there. So Assam numbers, if you can call it here. Yeah. The Barak region, 13 seats, 7 to 9 seats to the BJP. Congress Plus is about 4 to 6 seats. Others, 0. Is it perhaps in the same direction that the rest of the regions will flow? Let's see. It's a test of Himanta Biswa Sarma's leadership. Let's look at the next region also quickly. This is North Assam, 15 seats. So out of the first 28 seats from the overall assembly strength of 126, the BJP is clearly taking more of the seats compared to Congress. It's actually literally sweeping North Assam. It's also sweeping Central Assam. The only place where the Congress is getting some inroads so far is in Barak. So Central Assam, 19 seats. It's again the BJP. Let's look at the rest, the Lower Assam region. 44 seats in Lower Assam. It's 29 to 31. So this is a clear home run for Himanta Biswa Sarma. He seems to be running away with this mandate, touching nearly 100 seats. Upper Assam also, again sweeping Upper Assam, 35 seats of Upper Assam, 29 to 31 seats. So overall, if you were to see a median, 8 seats out of 13 in Barak, 13 seats out of 15 in North, 14 seats out of 19 in Central, 30 seats out of 44 in Lower Assam, and again 30 seats out of 35 seats in Upper Assam. So the only 2 places where there's some significant inroads being made, 2 or 3 places, Lower Assam, Barak, and also Upper Assam for the Congress.
Not much.
That's
Even
not
if
much.
You're saying significant.
That's not much.
And BJP first time fighting out here without allies, going solo, sending a message out to regionals everywhere in the country that, you know, if they win, if this is the sweep that it's having, and I'll put my neck out to say that this is a sweep that Amitabh is showing us. So if this is the numbers that we are getting from Assam, that would send out a message to everybody that, you know, deal with us or cooperate with us rather than push us to the corner. So it will be something, and Himanta getting a 3rd term will also be him playing a role in national level also.
This is the first time Himanta is seeking a mandate on his own.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The first time BJP saying no allies.
BJP, Sarbananda Sonowal, and after that consolidating and holding under Himanta Biswa Sarma, getting a 3rd term for the BJP. But Himanta Biswa Sarma also consolidates himself. Now, if on the one hand you have Assam in the hands or retained by the BJP, if the winds of change blow in Bengal, then that from a national security and a national perspective means a lot for the BJP and this double engine sarkar. But that we'll keep for another day. But
Can I say that if this result holds, then there are states in India that have voted BJP for last 3 or 4 elections. Assam is moving in that direction because they now is the 3rd time, right?
Then also the northeastern states, right? The several of the northeastern states where the regionals have played an important role. They're going to see that this is a good party to anchor on to because it results in a sweep, not just a small victory.
So
if this
already all
is
these parties have moved towards the BJP in the rest of the states. In Assam also it will mean the end of the Congress. It means the
BJP was
problem for the
never
Congress.
considered a possible party for governance in Assam. So that state we won, and we won a repeat election, a 3rd election.
Correct.
Haryana was considered a no-go state for the BJP in 2014. We were below 2 seats or 2% votes. And there we again won a 3rd mandate. Maharashtra was never considered a state where BJP can be the party in the lead. There we are in government for the 3rd time and leading it. So Bihar, you see, as a NDA,
I mean, I have to say that the BJP does do a better job retaining states where it is in power, then the
Kursi
Congress.
chhod
The
deni hai
Congress,
jaldi.
the
No, that's
Congress-
not easy.
Very call,
See,
very call.
retaining
Fair
power-
call.
chhod deni hai
Dr.
jaldi.
Raman is here with us also. Dr. Raman.
When the Congress is the opponent, naturally the BJP has the edge. That is the trend we've seen across the country. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. Why would states like Bengal, why would states like Tamil Nadu be more difficult to crack for the BJP? Because the Congress is not the primary opponent. So, I think this is a national trend. You're seeing the Congress weaken state after state after state. And therefore, that is what is really sort of helping the BJP to sort of, so without counter the
If the
anti-incumbents.
BJP wins Bengal, then this argument will
No,
not
but,
hold. On the other hand is that they won Odisha. They beat AAP in Delhi.
Yeah.
So they have won against non-Congress parties, although it has taken them more
It has
effort.
taken them, Odisha, it has taken a very, very long time
Yeah.
also. So I think we have to give that. So
Yes, Chetan Bhagat, as we just put out the final seats, and you can bring that in, and let's just flaunt some of these amazing graphics that have been made by our entire team. Bahut mehnat ki hai. So let's just bring in the total seat count as far as Assam. So for the UDF, as per the CNN News 18 exit poll projections by VoteWire, Amitabh Tiwari right here, it's 76 seats for the UDF in Kerala. But in Assam, it's 94 seats for the Himanta Biswa Sarma-led BJP there. Mamaji has really hit this one out of the park. He said 90 seats se upar aayega. He's got. No, let's go back to Assam. I was just making that mention on this because it was on the screen. Congress 27. So again, Gaurav Gogoi will have a point to prove. There will be many who would want Gaurav Gogoi axed. So how much of it will it help him or hurt his chances in the Congress is important. But Himanta Biswa Sarma solidifies himself as perhaps the pivot of the Northeast to the Northeast.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's one of the BJP doesn't have too many CM brands, right? They like to have the central system where they appoint, but he's becoming now.
Yeah, in the East he is. In the North we have Yogi. In the West
Yeah.
we have Devendra Fadnavis.
And you do need a
Now,
few.
Yeah.
You do need a few. And I think the BJP needed to win this one. There's a 4, if you leave Puducherry out for a bit, these are not places where BJP normally wins, the other states. So it could have been a 4-0 would have totally revived the opposition. They would have set the whole national narrative that dekho sab down ja raha hai, abhi it's all changing. So Assam, definitely they needed to win. And they need to win one more. And that's a net BJP gain. In this, normally you would say BJP needs to win all 4. That's not, nobody expects that. But if out of 4, it's a 2-2.
2-2 भी नहीं, अगर तमिलनाडु ADM के खींच लिया, then BJP will say हम जीत गए भैया.
हाँ, correct.
और-
No, that
और-
counts.
और
That
बंगाल-
counts.
बंगाल जीत गया तो बोला, हम
Anybody
तो
the
और जीत
BJP
गए
is aligned with, any NDA BJP alignment, if the BJP gets a 2-2, these are not elections which are BJP stronghold elections.
दे भैया असम का टोटल थोड़ा और वापस लाइए, पास लाइए, अमिताभ भैया को दिखाइए. ठीक, आइए, bring it down closer. Can we just have a look at this graphic, please? Come closer, show the numbers. Amitabh Tiwari saying हम इतना मेहनत किए हैं वोट करने में, एग्जिट पोल करने में, आप नंबर पूरा नहीं दिखा रहे हैं बढ़िया से. Let's show it to our viewers also. Get close. There you go. That's the overall projection. 90 to 100 seats is the range. 95 seats is the median. 94 seats is what we are putting on our screens. 27 seats is for the UDF and the Congress, and it is on the screens, viewers. At the bottom, you're seeing the numbers. To the side, you're seeing the numbers, and at the top, you're seeing the numbers. They'll keep rotating for each state,
But
and
Gaurav-
you'll get the range and also the
But I
median.
can tell you,
Gaurav Gogoi is what you were pointing out. His future is at stake now because he was seen as this Delhi-based leader, and then you saw several exits that happened from there, and then he just did not have an answer to the highly polarized campaign that Himanta ran. He just did not fight back enough. Tried a lot, but Himanta always was on that attack mode, to which Gaurav was always on this defensive.
and let's
Just
not
a
also forget,
personality
that's
based.
a very good point. Let's also forget that Gaurav Gogoi has enjoyed a profile at the national level. So he is not
Let's
somebody
get the
who
poll of polls.
was being
Kerala and
projected
Assam.
only as chief minister. He was a voice of the party. So they gave him a really elevated profile, perhaps in the run-up to this election, which he hasn't done justice to.
Too late also, just a year to prepare for. I don't
Absolutely.
know whether
Well, you know,
Yeah.
of course, all of those things will come into
Yeah.
play. But after having been given this profile, you are not being able to carry your party across even 1/3 of the line.
Right.
That's,
We'll put
that's not
the
gonna
the
work.
Kerala and Assam poll of
Yes.
polls, but we've
And-
got the West Bengal poll of polls.
So
here.
I'm very curious
Yeah.
about People's Pulse. Amitabh Tiwari, who is People's Pulse? They've put the TMC at 177, 187, BJP at 95, 110. That's the number. Now, this is clearly not phase one.
All the others are giving the BJP the.
Yes, but
the
Amit Shah
government.
had put this. He had proclaimed that in phase one, the BJP would get 110. So, first of all, what are the antecedents of People's Pulse? Of course, we don't know the sample size either.
ये बताइए इनका वाइब क्या है?
See, I think सबसे पहले तो राहुल जी कि हम लोग पोलस्टर्स के नाम और ये लिख डालते हैं. We need to check the background. Who is the promoter? Who is the face? Where is the website, etc. I'm not saying People's Pulse. I'm saying generally for any polling agency. Whoever is doing the polling is actually under polling the phase 2 because phase 2 polling is still going on. JVC is a friend. I mean, many people are friends also.
JVC, we of course
Correct.
all know. He's also a pundit, but he's sort of, it's very
Too
much
close
in
to
the
call.
balance there. It's
Too
too
close
close
to
to call.
Too
He's
close to
hedging.
call. ये भी जीत सकता है, ये भी जीत सकता है.
And-
Shokanta Majumdar is with us on the phone line. Is joining us now. Shokanto ji, namaste. This is Anand Narasimhan here. कैसे हैं आप? क्या? What is the? What is the? BJP is fine. Polling is fine. Chances are fine, sir.
Polling
Please tell
is
us.
fine. BJP is fine. BJP is going to form the government on 4th of the next month, and I believe that it will be a majority and thumping majority.
ये People's Pulse करके एक pollster है. They have given the BJP maximum 110 seats. And they're giving 187 seats to
there are several
Trinamool.
channels. They are showing that BJP is also forming the government. I don't believe in this exit poll and all these things. Okay, but there are several exit polls. They are showing that BJP will win 161 highest seats they have given to BJP. But the thing is that I would like to say that, as mentioned by the Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji, we will win 170 seat at least.
You're confident. See, interestingly,
let's ask-
Shokanto ji, the
let's ask
Palodi
this.
market in the Satta Bazaar, I shouldn't say it, they also said 170 seats. There is only one pollster who's saying you will get 170 seats here. That is Poll Diary so far. हमने हमारा poll अभी तक डाला नहीं है, sir. I'm just telling you. But why are you so confident? And then Rahul, yeah, sir.
There are several there are several things that happen in last 15 years of the rule. The kind of anti-incumbency that has been accumulated in favor of TMC government is really unique, and it is quite similar to the anti-incumbency that was there with the CPM government after the rule of 34 years. Then the SIR created a almost flawless voter list in which in West Bengal 24 lakhs dead voters' names have been deleted, and most of the vote of these people, actually TMC is habituated of casting the votes of these dead voters by their own karyakartas, own worker. And not only so, the third thing I would like to mention, this time no fake voting, no booth jamming, no source jamming happened. Due
Of course,
to the,
kudos
role
to
of
the Election Commission, Mr. Majumdar. I just want to ask you
Yes.
this. Talk about 2 or 3 regions where you're going to outperform yourself, because in this particular phase, phase 2, you have not got, even at the highest point in 2019 Lok Sabha, if that was projected onto an assembly map, you only had about 34, 35, 37 seats. Okay, 37 seats. So how are you, if you're going to end up with 170, 180, how are you going to pick up at least 60 or 70 seats? You're going to double your numbers. From where is this coming?
You see, there are several zones if you consider our party organizational structure. Then Navadvip zone is a very fruitful zone for us, which contain Bengal Lok Sabha,
Yes.
Barasat Lok Sabha, and from this Lok Sabha, BJP will win the seats. Last assembly election, we could not win a single seat from Hooghly district. This time, most of the seats of the Hooghly district will go in favor of
So who's
BJP.
going to be voting? Are you saying that
Last
there is a
time-
Hindu counter consolidation? What is happening on the ground that we are not at least seeing?
Yes.
At least a large number of these pollsters are also not seeing. They are not giving you those big numbers that you are talking about. And you can see those numbers at the bottom of our screens. You're not getting that explosive, definitive majority.
I already mentioned that I don't believe in this exit poll and all these things. Even I mentioned this in those channels. On those channels, they are showing that BJP is going to form the government there. Even I told them the same line, and I am repeating it here. But the ground reality, what we hear, what we have actually analyzed, what we have observed during our campaign, the number of people those are coming in the sabhas, and the people directly they were talking against the TMC government, against Mamata Banerjee on the heart of Kolkata. It is quite unimaginable.
Okay.
Almost 2 years ago,
Right.
it was totally unimaginable. So
Sukantaji.
this is the kind of situation is taking.
See, Mamata Banerjee and also Abhishek Banerjee have criticized the presence of central forces. They have said there is too much of dadagiri going on. But the voter turnout has actually gone up by about 20 to 25% in Kolkata, Hooghly, Howrah, and this entire region, Diamond Harbour, Rashbihari, and all these areas. So, what do you see? Why do you think this has happened, especially in the greater Kolkata region? This surge in voter percentage.
In greater Kolkata region, yes, first of all, the credit goes to Election Commission of this country. They have taken several steps which resulted in the turnout, this voting turnout. In Kolkata and surrounding areas, people are debarred to vote for several years. Not only during this regime, even in case of CPM regime also. At that time also, the people, they were obstructed to vote. Now they have the chance, and that is the calculation. No one can analyze Bengal. In case of Bengal, exit poll won't work because the Bengali people, they are politically so conscious. You ask people, no one would say anything to you. This is the general mentality of a Bengali people. They won't say anything. If they will say that give you the wrong message.
Okay, well,
And they will, as they could not cast their vote in previous election, this time they got the chance. So
Okay.
according to your logic, to whom they should cast your vote?
let's assume for a moment, because obviously we have to keep the suspense going. Here at CNN News 18, the Vote Vibe survey projections will come out at 8 o'clock for phase 1. We are not going to hazard a guess on phase 2, as you know, Anand, because I think that would be too premature today. I don't know on what basis, on perhaps 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock polling, some of the others have stuck their neck out that far. But this is,
No,
these
phase
are
1
all,
and
these
2,
are
but they have taken phase 2 only till 3 p.m.
3
Voter
p.m.
turnout till
So
3
it's
p.m.
not as if, or maybe even 2 p.m. because, voting is still going on. So I don't understand how maybe it's a first cut or whatever it is, how it can suddenly have become so sort of apparent to them, because there's a significant number of voters who have turned up. I mean, there's going to be a 93, 94%. So these guys have really jumped the gun. But thank you, Mr. Majumdar.
It's 78%, Rahul. If
Yes.
it is 93%, imagine that's
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All the best, Sukantaji. All the best.
So 2 o'clock, let's assume it's 2 o'clock, the cutoff for these numbers. At 2 o'clock, Anand, do you remember what the polling percentage was?
Yeah.
It was hovering around the 60%. So,
Was to be able to catch the 6:30 p.m. Early
Yes.
bird arrival, you close your exit poll early while polls are continuing.
Well, that's true.
You complete your sampling before 3 o'clock.
But there are
so
also-
if the assumption, it's an assumption that polling pattern till 3 p.m. may not be different
I
from the
understand.
polling pattern that
Statistically,
happens thereafter.
you can do even a poll with 10 people statistically if you've got the demographic data right and so on and so forth. But all I'm saying is that there are
but a
people
10 to
coming from
13% surge in certain constituencies
Yes.
could change the mandate.
could change the mandate.
It could actually change the mandate. In
think-
some cases, it's a 20% jump up.
I think some of these pollsters could have erred a little bit on this. Anyway, let's just go through
At
some of
least
these.
One thing we can tell our viewers, we are not rushing. We are putting out what we have put out so far at CNN News 18 are data for elections that have already polling has completed. Kerala and Assam.
That's
Which I think
that's
all the
yeah,
that's
pollsters
happened.
are kind
And the
of-
next
week
will
and
be
a half
Tamil
back.
Nadu, which happened on the 23rd itself.
So Kerala and
it's
Assam,
that.
almost all pollsters are saying this, that Assam
Yes.
is Himanta,
Yeah.
BJP, and there it is.
Kerala is
Kerala.
UDF.
Yeah,
So
it's
the polar
UDF.
polls, we'll go to that. But
Most
here
of them-
what, see, this rush is, abhi polling chal raha hai, abhi bhi aapne dal diya. You've just rushed and look at what they put. See, again, if you look at it, we've got
be
Chanakya
anybody.
strategies, which has come. So almost all of them,
This
except for
apparently is
one.
not today's Chanakya. This is something else. This is
Just
Chanakya strategies. So
except for People's Pulse and One India, which are identically giving the same numbers.
yeah.
अब तो भाई ये तो कुछ और ही है. This is a different story altogether. ऐसा लग रहा है copy
Yeah, so
paste.
these two are completely, well, yes, copy
They're
paste of
actually
each other.
they're mirroring each other. We
but
don't
they
know
are
who these
completely
pollsters
out
are,
there.
but they're mirroring each other.
Except that this is a bit
yeah,
weird because I don't see how this can be 125, 140, 146, 161. This is Matriz now.
Matriz is saying 161
And-
by BJP. Again, 171 poll diary BJP.
Yes.
Chanakya strategy is 160 BJP. JVC again 159 BJP. Although he's hedging his bets there. And then People's Pulse, which says BJP 110. So this is the outlier in this case. The rest are actually showing that BJP has a chance to form government given their early assumptions. Chetan Bhagat?
Well, if the BJP gets this, they've got the East. Ho gaya bhai.
Yeah.
The East is done. From Odisha, Bengal, Assam, everything. And I think looks like they will. Because so many polls are there. I don't know People's Pulse. And anyway, 3 anti-incumbency. And they've really been trying to get...
Yeah.
That is the contest of the match of the match.
What do you make of these? What do you make of some of these numbers? We
Abhijit
have
and
Abhijit
Mitra.
and Mitra
Namaskaram.
also.
So for me, the situation really is that in spite of all this wave that we're hearing about, 90% plus polling at the end of the day, you're still not seeing the numbers add up very decisively for the BJP. You would have expected, given all the narrative that's been going on, I would have expected very significantly more numbers. And yet what has been happening instead is that you basically have everything within, every pollster is saying that the highest number of
Can
the
we just
TMC
stay with the Bengal numbers? We've not yet come to Tamil Nadu yet. We'll come to Tamil Nadu
higher
for the
than
polls in a bit.
TMC could be less than the BJP numbers. So I still think this is very much up in the air. Basically, the polls have brought no clarity.
Polls have brought no clarity. That's an interesting one because fundamentally, we have been told by Amit Shah. Now, I know that Amit Shah has got it wrong in the past, and I would probably want to also hear Dr. Raman's view on it and Nalin's view on this. I remember in the past, Amit Shah has talked about 150. He's talked about a simple majority in the past and got it wrong. Specifically in the last election, 150 became 77. I mean, it's not as if the BJP is going to always get it right. Even when it came to the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, they were hopelessly off mark. 400, 400 par, ended up with 40 less than where they were supposed to even be to come to power on their own. So, Suman Raman, what do you see, Doctor?
Please, we'll move to Tamil Nadu because we're on the clock.
I think there's one issue that I'm trying to read. Fairly polarized, and it's a bipolar. There are only two players in the fray. So has it happened earlier? Bengal held firm with Congress for 30 years, then it held firm with CPM for 34 years. Now Mamata Banerjee has been there only 15 years. So are we saying that they have tired to the extent that a 211, 213 kind of a mandate for Mamata Banerjee will be completely overturned in 5 years? I don't know. Clearly,
one of the voters said this morning, he said Durniti.
I want to add to what you're saying, sir.
Yeah.
So Bengal, historically, since the early 70s, has always given very decisive verdicts.
Mandate.
So now if you're seeing this result, which is showing neck and neck, this means that people are, at least the polls are not able to make up their mind. And it's too close to call. Because it'll be one way or the other. It's unlikely. This kind of result is very hard.
To our guests in the studio, we're going to pause Bengal for the next 52 minutes and we're going to go back south towards Tamil Nadu. Two Tamilans who also are, both of them
Just
have their
one
vote
comment.
there.
You see, exit polls tend to, in keen context like this, they tend to hedge their bets. They don't, you see, Bihar, all polls gave 150, 160. They picked NDA as the winner, but nobody gave us the runaway victory that we got, 202 seats. So polls,
They want to go in the same direction, sir, but road bahut lamba nahi bichata.
they want to play safe.
Yeah, okay.
They play safe, and at least one pollster, this exit poll person said that in Bengal there's a lot of fear. 60% of people who come out say, sorry, we don't want to participate in
Okay.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Let's
So
look at the
that
Tamil
is
Nadu poll of
something.
polls. Let's look at the Tamil Nadu poll of polls, and then we'll get the CNN News 18 exit poll projections. So the Tamil Nadu poll of polls, as of now, all right, we're putting our
Okay.
numbers.
No,
234
this is the
seats.
exit, yes.
This is
Yeah.
113 to 100, 103 to 113 to the DMK. The edge is with the ADMK. The NDA has the edge here, 114 to 124. So they are very clearly, comfortably sitting very close to the halfway mark. Vijay and the TK is 4 to 10 seats, but they will poll in significant vote share. That's what it looks like. And that too in certain pockets, which clearly has come across to hurt the DMK. That's what the overall projection.
Do we have
for
the
Tamil
vote
Nadu.
share? Let's pull out the vote share for this.
We
And
check if
also,
the
of
Tamil
course,
Nadu
go
vote share
region
is
by
out, and
region.
also the zone-wise numbers. If
But
we
the
can get
fact
to
that TVK is getting 4 to 10%, and we have a close margin like this, I think this is a gap of about 1% between the ADMK
1.5%
and the DMK.
between these two.
These two. So,
But he gets about nearly about 18 to 20% of the votes.
18 to 20%.
If he has to get 4 to 10
so
seats.
that is
I'm just
what
saying,
the Vote
arithmetically.
Vibe survey at one time, when we were doing sort of back of the envelope calculations, we were suggesting a 1%
Yes.
move away, and about a 20% vote share for TVK
You remember
would
the
damage
number
the
was
DMK.
118 at 1%.
118,
It's
yes.
exactly that.
It's
Shabnaz.
exactly that same.
Now,
That's
now
the
look at the
vote
vote share. So the vote share is 40 and 39.
39%.
And look at the TVK vote share is 16%. And we were at TVK at 15%, ADMK at 1%.
Let me just add a devil's advocate caveat here, because this is statistically in the plus minus 3% error margin viewers. You could actually have in very close contests something flipping. So this is now an election where, I'm sorry to say, but at least as far as Vote Vibe is concerned, this could be an open election. Let's put it like that.
One, it's an open, but I'll
Yes.
put another caveat here.
Yeah.
The caveat here is that the TVK 16% is an overall state aggregate across 234 seats. But it's possible that in certain belts, like the KTCC belt, Chennai, Chengalpet, Tiruvallur, Kanjipuram, and also in south towards the Kanyakumari and there, he may poll more than 35 to 40% votes. And that's the concentration which would actually hurt the DMK.
So let's just go back
this
to the seat
1%
share.
difference here. Let's go back to see. Yeah.
The seat
Can we go
share,
back to the
because
seat share?
we were on a show last night, Dr. Raman and myself, and Dr. Raman's prediction was that the TVK, beyond perhaps Vijay, might struggle to open its account. Here it looks like we could be getting seats.
So this is
I'm still holding on to that. I find it mind-boggling that he could potentially win 10 seats, because I can't think of the 10 seats that he could win.
correct. So the 10 seats will happen. Why? I'll tell you why. Because if he's pinched bulk of the vote share, that 15% is from the DMK, then the pooling of votes in certain seats could be so strong, especially in the Chennai region, that he may open his account there. Plus, he may win the 2 seats that he's contesting on.
Look, he could win his seats,
The
but
2 seats.
beyond that,
2 seats and
to
then
get
yeah.
Look, the point is Chennai is a DMK fortress. So to challenge and overturn, these
There's
are all
one seat
seats
in the
which
south. There's
DMK
one seat,
wins by
one or two
margins of
seats in the
40K
south.
and all. So
1 or 2 seats in the south where there is also Sengotian. So Sengotian's region, in that place there could be.
But
there could be a
one
10.
point I want to draw your
So
attention
that's why
to,
4
Anand,
to 10 seats.
in the poll of polls, this seems to be the only poll which is giving the AIADMK the edge.
Yes, we've just got the poll of polls. The poll of polls largely what they are saying. PMark has said 125 to 145 seats for the DMK. People's Pulse is also mirroring PMark.
Yeah.
Matriz is saying 122 to 132. People's Insight is saying 120 to 140. And Praja poll is actually saying 148 to 168
Those
because
numbers
their
for the
assumption,
TVK are
Then
absurd.
how
Anand.
did the poll of polls
Sorry.
say the...
No.
their assumption.
Yeah.
Anand,
I'm
those
sorry, the
numbers
TVK
are
is
bizarre.
highly
The
overrated.
poll of
I'm
polls.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Anand, those are
Correct.
bizarre.
Correct. Now, if people were to understand Tamil Nadu and do a deep dive, these projections of seats for the TVK at the cost of
And
the ADMK.
Anand,
while
look at the
giving-
others. Look at the others. Who are the others?
And who are
For
these
God's
others?
sake,
We don't know.
others
Why?
are going to get zero.
Why? Because
Write it down.
the DMK itself, this
And
DMK
TVK
plus is
20
an
to
alliance
40?
of 16 parties. This is an alliance of
Anand,
13
I'm about to
parties,
say-
12 parties.
Anand-
So there's no others left. There's no others left.
Anand, I've got to say, I'm amazed at the TVK numbers in the non-vote vibe one.
30 to 40.
30 to 40
No,
seats,
sir.
No way.
20 seats.
Anand,
That means
I
getting
think-
30% vote share. That
Anand,
is
I think
impossible.
around the table we can agree that
Yeah.
the TVK is not getting.
Let me
30 to 40
explain.
not.
हाँ, मतलब
What is happening with TVK, and I've been extensively through the state. TVK is taking votes in Chennai and around Chennai.
Correct.
They're taking votes in Coimbatore. They're taking votes in Trichy. They're taking votes in certain other
Urban
pockets
areas,
of
yeah.
smaller towns.
Yeah.
The moment you go into the villages or the rural constituencies, the TVK's vote share drops to possibly even below 10.
Yes.
Right.
Now,
So
I'm
this
just-
statistic, and
I'm
mind
walking out of the frame
you, Anand,
because I wanna show you
154 are rural seats.
Sir, can I add to his point on vote share?
Yeah.
See, Anand, if you bring up that vote share
Yeah.
again,
See,
your vote share is showing ADMK at 40%, right? In our
Correct.
poll.
ADMK is at 40%.
If that is the case, then ADMK last time was 33%. That's a
Yes.
7% jump.
Yes.
Yeah.
And DMK plus last time was about 37%.
Right.
And you're showing them at 39%, 38% this time. If those numbers hold, then there is no way in hell TVK would have got so much of a
Sir,
vote share.
the rural
What it
seats.
shows is that there is an anti-incumbency, there is some movement towards ADMK, but it's difficult to call out the rest. So that's why people are kind of
Right.
hedging the numbers.
On this wall, on the big wall, I'm going to ask our team. On the big wall, can we just put our numbers, the CNN News 18 vote wipe numbers, Tamil Nadu, the poll of polls behind Rahul Shivshankar.
Yeah, I was just hoping
what
that
what I'm
would
going
be
to
done.
bring here, Rahul, is just quickly bring your attention to these
Yeah.
90 seats which are rural Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
90 seats are rural Tamil Nadu where there is no presence for the TVK in terms of strong presence. And there is agrarian distress, and 90 seats is where the ADMK holds fort. Here, this is a 5% vote share differential. And if TVK polls about 8 to 10% votes here, the party that's going to be hurt is the DMK because there is an agrarian distress and there is a huge anti-incumbency against the DMK in this region. So
But
this
you know,
90
before we
seats
get into
doesn't-
look,
yeah,
before
yeah.
we get into the nitty-gritties, because we're going to break down
Yeah.
the vote vibe poll projection region-wise to get
Yeah.
a better detailed analysis. Look, I'm finding this TVK business a little over-projected. If it is indeed over-projected, this can't really be the number, because
Yeah.
if there are already in 30 to 40 seats, viewers, people willing to give TVK a vote, that means it's a big factor. And that means that the TVK can't be. This is just one of the polls. Let's go back to the poll of polls, sir.
Yeah,
Please,
right
let's go
behind
back
you.
there,
Right
Chris,
behind
up
you.
to
It's
the
there.
poll
It's
of
back
polls.
there.
That's right. We were talking about that. Now, if that could be 30, 40, why can't it be 70, 80? Or even 100. So, Doctor,
one
this I
quick
can't
point.
understand. If people have decided that it's going to be an outsider, a
Caution
third
it.
party, then why can't it go all the way?
Okay,
So what's
caution,
happening here?
caution.
Yeah.
The last time Tamil Nadu had a third player was in
Close.
2016. 95% of exit polls got it wrong.
Wrong. No, not just that. And if I can just walk across, please understand this to all our viewers and also to our guests. For this number to happen, the TVK has to poll more than 30% votes across 234 seats.
Yes.
That's not possible. Even a
Realistically,
DMDK could not
yeah.
do it, and Vijay could not do it
So
despite the outpoll.
realistically,
NGR in his
8
first
to
election
5%.
polled 33% of the vote.
Yeah, let's ask the JIP cam to come closer. And why don't you also, sir, the handheld cam VJ can come in also into this wall. That's great. Now, we don't have recalcitrant VJs, but we have recalcitrant numbers, viewers. We've got a problem here. What is the problem?
The problem, very clearly, one, if you're giving these kind of seats, and we've pulled it out on Numerics very clearly, that the TVK has to poll more than 25 to 30% votes across 234 seats for them to have managed these kind of seat conversions. It's not going to happen because the DMK and the ADMK plus and their allies, only 1.5 to 2% vote share actually separates them across seats. And their strength in the rural areas, the TVK cannot match. So what's possible is this, and to a certain extent, perhaps this.
Well, look, I mean,
these are the two maximum possibilities that can happen in terms of seat share gains for the TVK.
What I'm saying, Anand, I'm not wanting to discount the Vijay factor. So I'm not going to say whether this is possible or not. But if this is possible, it means that at some level, you have a large number of people who've decided that they don't either want the AIDMK or the DMK. My question is why? Abhijit Iyer Mitra, would they stop half house? Would they say, "Theek hai, itna de diya, but I won't give that much more"? Why do you think that would happen?
So look, there is definitely fatigue out there with both parties. This we can all agree to. And if you look at Vijay's line, at least in his Tamil speeches, what he's been saying is, see, he's playing very innocent. He's like, you've given both of these guys a chance and they've both betrayed you. Why don't you give me a chance? Yeah, I'll make mistakes, but then I'm the complete outsider. I don't have any insiders around. He's playing that card, right? And that's a fairly powerful card to play. My issue is many, people, myself included, I don't vote for innocent people. I vote for harsh, ruthless people. I do not like voting for innocent cherubs. So this is one issue. The second issue, I want you to look at these numbers out here. They're not very different from the last election.
Yes.
What is the great thing for the ADMK here is that the voter percentage seems to have recovered from the 2024 Lok Sabha election, which was abysmal. That was something like a 2:1, 46% is to 23%.
And the 2024 parliamentary base is a wrong base to take.
NDA fought separately. If you add up the ADMK and NDA vote, they led in 82 constituencies. My point is, I can't see the NDA go below 82. 82 was possibly a rock bottom in 2024. They were routed. They didn't win a single seat.
The other thing is,
not below
to say
82.
that Vijay has pushed them
the
down
other
to
thing
this,
is,
some of
not
those
below
voters-
82.
It is unrealistic to expect that Vijay has pushed them down.
And also the ADMK on its own, even in its worst, in all its years of existence, has never gone below 61 seats. So that's one point. They've got a solid 22 to 23%, 24% vote share, which is unshakable. It's the incremental that changes the discourse every time. But if you're trying to say that this and this is possible, it cannot be at the expense of only the ADMK. It has to be at the expense of also the DMK, and that seat share will actually come down
Well,
far
there
much
was a
more
scenario.
if there are- because the vote share across seats is going to go
But
up.
Anand,
for
there
TVK.
was a scenario where we used a 50-30-20 ratio. And we showed how that would have dented the AIDMK also in that ratio.
Correct. But
so there is the possibility. I'm saying that qualitatively, I'm trying to fix on some of these polls, which seem to suggest that TVK is good enough to get 20% of the vote, but not 35% of the vote. So I'm not understanding. If the voter is so split in Tamil Nadu, I don't think they're going to waste their votes on somebody who's not going to make a material difference to the overall result and bring back the party that they actually don't want, because there is anti-incumbency. So it just doesn't logically add up.
I'll tell you what the problem here is. I think the numerator has changed, but the denominator has also changed.
That's right.
Because what has happened is Vijay has not only cut the DMK votes, he has also cut the ADMK votes. Because see, the DMK was always a ideology-driven party.
Yes.
The DMK. The ADMK was born as a personality-driven party.
Exactly.
When you don't have great personalities like MGR or Jayalalitha leading you, and EPS, is a bit like what's our Iranian king? Reza Pahlavi sitting in Iran. When the Americans bomb Tehran, then he comes out. The rest of the time, he's quiet. EPS is like that. He does nothing through the 5 years.
They've run a coherent
But
campaign.
look, the campaign,
I think
he's run a
so.
wonderful campaign.
Compared
that
to
is great.
2024
But
when they
you
fought
have to be
separately.
seen. You have
They've
to
done
be
a good
seen
campaign.
throughout. You have to be seen throughout. And see, Jayalalitha was incredible at that. She beat that, the pendulumic swing that we saw happen.
So when
in
you
Tamil
don't
Nadu.
have a personality-driven campaign, I think
And-
Palaniswamy has done a good
But
job.
here's the issue. Vijay is a personality-driven party. He is going to take more personality votes than he is going to take ideology.
And what
So that's
happened
the
to the
young
larger
voter.
narrative?
Yeah,
What
I
happened,
agree.
Dr. Raman, to the larger narrative? And I'll come to you, Chetan Bhagat. What happened to that larger narrative that, well, it's a one-man army, the TVK, built around a personality but not a cadre?
There are booths where there were hardly booth agents to be found in rural areas. I've spoken to so many people in the village side who said, look, there were only two parties sitting in the booth agent as booth agents. TVK didn't have. And look, the point is, I think that somewhere the pollsters are getting carried away by the hype.
Yeah.
You look at it, you look at Instagram, you look social media, Facebook, you don't see anything except DMK ads and Vijay.
No, see, there
Right?
is no,
So,
it's-
and the voter is also extremely vocal.
Just-
Normally
just-
there is a silent voter who keeps quiet.
Just one point. Rahul made a point that let's say he pinches 50% of his votes or 50% from DMK or ADMK, 50, 30, 20 and 20 from the others. Even then in that scenario, and Rahul, we should tell our viewers, that that TVK was not pulling seats till the time they got 30% vote share.
Yes, right.
Across 234 seats. I keep saying that. See, we may get this wrong. Okay, let's say we may get this. We may get this wrong. We may get this wrong. My question is this number of seats that is being given to the TVK.
No.
That's what makes me question how these
that is
pollsters
one
have done the
issue.
math. That's where
there are
this may go this way. It's all right. But this seat share being given to the TVK. That's where the question is how they've done the
I'll
math.
qualify that slightly. I go back to the Prajarajyam example, where Chiranjeevi with a very low vote share was able to win 18 seats. Now, that was because it was a concentrated vote limited to a few districts and so on, because his community was there. Now, when you come to Vijay, outside Chennai, there is no concentration of Vijay's vote. Maybe 6-7 constituencies.
Just one second.
in
Let me
Chennai.
just bring in Vivek Narayan, who is looking at this from the ground level also. So let's go straight across to Vivek Narayan. Vivek, thanks for joining us. Affiliate channel of CNN News 18, the bureau, the managing editor of All South for CNN News 18 and the TV 18 network. So Vivek, put this into perspective for us. There is a huge debate around the table here about the TVK's numbers. Either they have manifested themselves to the position of winning, or he ends up in no man's land. What is happening here?
Well, it's very clear, Rahul, from the debate that we are having in our studios in Delhi, that Vijay is the X factor. And where will the X factor affect? Well, everybody knows, everybody's been saying that it's going to be between 15 and 25, 20% perhaps. But what I have seen on the ground, I do agree a lot with and respect Dr. Sumant Raman's point of view. But I did see a lot of impromptu crowd, especially young crowd, women coming for Vijay. I mean, when you ask people, I mean, this is something that you have seen only in advertising industry. When you speak with people, you do hear senior citizens also being said, they are being told by their children that Tata, Pati, when you go out to vote, Dada, Dadi, make sure you vote for Vijay. Well, when you're trying to sell a car, you don't sell it to usually children, but you pressurize, so show children's images, show how children love the car. Exactly like that, you have a phenomenon in Tamil Nadu where Vijay has a huge, across the spectrum. You may not see it as much on ground. Yes, on ground also I've seen it. As Anand just rightly said, the KTCC region in and around Tamil Nadu. Now that is around Chennai, 37 seats. And don't be surprised if he gets 130. I mean, he may get 4 or 5 from that.
But Vivek, that's the question.
Urban, semi-urban region. See, he's doing very well, Anand.
Vivek, KTCC 37 seats, you said, but who dominates those 37 seats? If he's going to win those seats, he's going to hurt the DMK, because the DMK has 36 out of those seats currently in terms of projections. And then the seats are being given to the DMK. They have to have seats in KTCC to get to 120. Now, that's why I'm saying, you would also agree that Vijay will have to poll a certain vote share which is above the overall state average of the DMK and the ADMK. That is, they will have to poll at least 27 to 28% vote share across seats to be able to get these many seats to their name. And if they are getting so many seats, both DMK and ADMK will suffer. It can't be that only one party will suffer. So somewhere the arithmetic seems to be, if they had given vote share to the TVK and seats to the DMK, then it makes sense. Or seats to the ADMK, it makes sense. But if you are saying that he is going to get 28 to 30% vote share plus get seats, while the DMK is not going to hurt at all and still get about 120, 125 seats, somewhere the arithmetic doesn't sit right as far as this. And where is the case that someone like a Vijay has been able to create an impact across 234 seats? DMDK could not do it. So many others who came in the past who could not do it. Now we got the region-wise on air also in Tamil Nadu.
So let's just very quickly bring in Apsara Reddy also. Yeah. She's joining our broadcast. Thank you very much. And Mr. Gandhi of the DMK. Apsara Reddy, your first reaction to the vote wipe projection here, which seems to suggest that the AIDMK has actually got its neck ahead. Now, I know that the poll of polls seems to be suggesting something very different, but your reaction?
Good evening, Rahul and Anand and everybody else in the studio. I think it's amazing to see the kind of number crunching that's going on across your studios and different pollsters. But I really feel I don't want to number crunch. I'm very confident that AIDMK will cross the 125 to 130 mark, because I was on the ground campaigning, and I think we're giving Vijay far too much credit in terms of the number of seats that he's going to win. He might dent votes of the DMK across Tamil Nadu, mostly in urban areas where the DMK is strong. But I think the rural belt is very much inclined and loyal to AIDMK. And not every voter across rural areas is declarative to pollsters. So I really feel there are a lot of silent women voters, women who are upset about the rapes, the POXO cases, agrarian distress, farmers who committed suicides, the lack of employment. So a lot of youngsters perhaps might be the anti-incumbent youngsters who are voting for against the DMK might get distracted by Vijay in urban centers, but the rural vote of the AIDMK will stand. And I really feel AIDMK, Edappadi Palanichami is set to be the next chief minister. Just to react to one of your guests in the studio who said that AIDMK's leader, Edappadi Palanichami, is not a Jayalalitha. Of course, he's not a Jayalalitha. He's come up the hard way from a farmer's family as a booth level worker till the chief minister. But he's the only person in Tamil Nadu who has covered maximum ground in terms of campaign. Every time there's a protest, he's on the ground. And I think he's somebody who's extremely connected with the grassroots. I don't think we should go by people sitting in studios commenting on publicity standards of leaders. Stalin is a great
point is, even if Apsara Reddy, we must tell our viewers that even when the Jayalalitha aspect happened and the ADMK split, the cadre and the organization stayed with Edappadi Palanichami. And EPS is also the only big MBC leader in the fray right now, if you were to see overall. And he has focused on organization of the party.
And if you've seen the election campaigns, the two leaders who have had excellent campaigns were EPS in the political space and Vijay, obviously as a film star.
But you have to also say that the DMK also did its campaign and it's also strong. I'm not saying no, but Pura Gandhi is with us, just bringing Pura Gandhi. Irrespective of which way the polls are showing, ADMK or the DMK, whoever wins the seats. My question to you is, do you believe this kind of seat conversion that is being shown by the pollsters for the TVK? Because that will have to dent both parties if he's got to win such number of seats. Your thoughts, Pura Gandhi?
No, we don't agree with this particular seat conversion for a simple reason. In the tripartite contest, even assuming that we don't believe there is a tripartite contest, we strongly still believe that the contest is between DMK and ADMK. So Vijay is not even tested. So even assuming that Vijay is going to poll, say, for example, 15 to 18%, or even in the worst case scenario, or you give the best case scenario as 23-24%. In the tripartite contest, out of 85% of the total votes polled, a winning party has to have at least 31 to 32% of the votes across the 234 seats.
Correct.
So Vijay getting 15% or even 18% or even 24% will not get converted to any seat. That's a fundamental issue here. So even in the Chennai suburbs, so say for example Chennai and the rural Chennai is a DMK vote. As far as Chennai is concerned, DMK always maintains a voting percentage of somewhere close to 44 to 45%, the highest margin in Chennai. So Vijay and ADMK also maintains a certain level of percentage, roughly 20 to 23% in Chennai. So to Vijay to win even a Chennai seat, Vijay need to get at least 35%, much higher than in the rural. Therefore, the presumption and assumption that Vijay is 22% or 18% or 15% will get converted into seat, it's not crossing the threshold. He may get some good share, up to 15%, but he's not going to turn up with any number of seats. Even Vijay will not win in Paramur.
So GDL and
let me give you a technical point. Whenever a new party comes into the electoral arena, it's difficult for pollsters to gauge what level of vote percentage they might actually poll, because all your projections are in reference to the past voting trends. So when you don't have anything as the past voting trend, whether you will end up at 10, 15, 20, it becomes difficult to gauge. So therefore, one of them is right. I don't know which one of them. But I will not rule out anything.
Arithmetically, there is a threshold for conversion into seats. Chetan Bhagat, Chetan.
You know, Tamil Nadu, like he said, is missing its movie stars. MGR, Jayalalitha is gone. It's a land of Rajnikant. They see them as gods. They see them as more than God. They need it. And AIDMK is not giving it. DMK cannot give it. So here comes an alternative. Exit polls are predicting 19%. Compare it to a Prashant Kishore who didn't have what was missing. Prashant Kishore didn't have the stardom.
To be fair, Udaynidhi has acted in movies.
Okay, but,
There have been
but you
script
can't
writers.
compare Vijay with any actor. You
Okay,
can compare Uday Nidhi, you can compare him with even Vijay Kant. He's
Anand,
far bigger.
one
But
more-
whether he will convert into votes is
He
still a
will.
question.
Because
for a voter who for
they
the
will.
youth who doesn't identify probably with Dravidian politics, who has never seen Karunanidhi and that doesn't identify with that, who doesn't identify with even the cult of Jayalalitha, for them, this is a new kind of a phenomenon out here.
Yeah.
So I can quite understand that they would want to vote. Will they vote so phenomenally large numbers? Because, as someone was saying that, why is every voluble voter a TVK voter?
Yeah, see, this
The
is what I'm
silent
saying.
voter is supposedly
My
an
point
AIDM
is,
voter. You never
Dr.
know.
Raman, my point is, if there are people who have made up their mind that the DMK is not their cup of tea because it's let them down for whatever reasons, the AIDMK is a non-starter, then why wouldn't they go and bet on TVK whole hog?
Yeah, that's
why
it.
would you have a
Look,
situation?
Rahul, let me tell you this. A week before the election, there was hardly any talk of Vijay sweeping the polls and so
True,
on.
last
right?
minute it happened. Yeah.
On the day of the vote, people started saying that I voted TVK, and then the buzz sort of started, with, so many people are saying we voted TVK. So there, you know what, my child asked me to vote for TV. That kind of a thing was what was spread. Is that enough are they just a voluble voter? One other point I just want to add, Anand, there's a JVC poll which is now given 128 to 147 to AIADMK.
Yeah, so let's add the JVC.
So that
JVC poll to the.
So can I just add quickly to what Dr. Raman said? See, we have to understand from a BJP national perspective, the very fact that you prevented the DMK alliance from even crossing the halfway mark would be seen as a victory.
I just want to quickly come in here.
Do we have
all
the
of this while we
region-wise
are
that in
immersed
itself is
in
very
Tamil Nadu? Just some big news coming in. Gyanesh Kumar, Chief Election Commissioner of India, has complimented voters for posting record turnout in Bengal.
Yeah,
so phase 1,
91.4.
phase 2, record turnout. It's 91.41%. And he says highest ever percentage of polling in West Bengal in both phase 1 and 2 since independence. Chunav ka parv, Paschim Bengal ka garv. So the pride of
phase 1 and phase 2
West
mirror
Bengal.
each other, almost
mirror each other. Of course, this phase is slightly less than phase 1, which is 93%, I think. So 93 and 91%. But fundamentally, it's phenomenal.
Rahul, repeatedly on your show, I've said this, that, the leaders of these opposition parties going on pillorying the election commission, the people of the country have absolute faith in the process as well as the commission.
Now, coming back to Tamil Nadu.
I disagree there. They have faith in the process overall. That is also coming. And see, there are a lot of questions for which there haven't been answers. I'll give you a simple example, Rahul. Tell me the number of people who voted in Tamil Nadu, number of actual votes cast in each constituency. Is that a secret?
I understand what you're saying. There have been
protest against the election
Is it not the
commission?
duty of the election commission to put that data?
Where
That
do you
data
see?
will be out.
Did anybody go? I don't agree with you.
People voted. Today is 29. Where is the data?
Let's go back to Tamil
Okay,
Nadu because our focus.
coming
Let's
back.
go to
I'm
region-wise.
working out
Anand, let's go to the region-wise.
Region-wise, I'm just putting out something here for our viewers to also grasp why we are saying, and the question exercise. I got nothing against Vijay or the TVK. I must say that I'm a huge fan of Vijay views. The point, the whole exercise of understanding this deep dive of the arithmetic conundrum or the complexity of Tamil Nadu started with this question of how can Vijay win? What does Vijay and TVK need to do to win? And let's start with just rural Tamil Nadu. 90 of the 234 seats come from rural Tamil Nadu, and Apsara Reddy, Pura Gandhi are there. Look at the hold that these two parties have. They share 86% of the vote share there between the two of them. So if Vijay has to win, and this is the benchmark, Pura Gandhi also said the same thing. Vijay, if he has to win, Vijay has to, across Tamil Nadu, needs to get at least 28 to 30% votes across every constituency to get to certain number of seats, that is 30 seats. There are somebody who are giving 10, 12, 15 seats. That means he has to poll, and this is what arithmetically it says, he has to poll in about 100 seats he has to poll nearly 40% votes to be able to hurt these two, because he has to pinch 40% from these two. He has to go above them. He has to go above their vote share, or he has to bring them back. Now, if they have to be brought down to 30%, 30% here, 30% here, he has to pinch 15% from both these people. Now, if that happens, their seats will also come down. They won't hold on to these seats. So this arithmetically, this happening, and that too in rural Tamil Nadu, TVK has no presence.
So let's just go and
Rural
see the,
Tamil Nadu, this
okay, so
whole
there are two
region,
things.
TVK has no presence.
No one understands all of that. But look, there are certain pollsters who are casting certain votes, right? So let's have a look at the region-wise in vote 5 and get a sense of where these votes are coming from, and also the vote share, viewers, because that's one thing we haven't talked about. The vote share sometimes can give you big clarity on what's really transpired.
Okay, let's look at the region-wise numbers. If we can call Tamil Nadu region-wise, and we'll show you where the gains are. I've not looked at the numbers, and I'm just saying that it will be in KTCC and in South where Vijay will make a dent. Let's look at it. 19 to 21 seats, DMK, because anti-incumbency, his campaign was against Stalin and DMK in KTCC, and that's where he is getting 3 to 5 seats. And the ADMK benefits because even a 5 to 10% vote share shift from the DMK towards TVK, and ADMK retaining its existing voter base, it goes up in terms of seats.
Last time it was 36 out of 37 for the DMK.
36 out of 37 for the DMK. Look at this. It's coming down by about 15, 16 seats. The gain is for the ADMK because TVK hurts the DMK. North, 52 seats. 18 to 20 seats to the DMK. No seats for the TVK. Why? But they have pinched about 10 to 12% away from the DMK. Not hurting the ADMK as much because his campaign has been against the DMK. And that's why the ADMK goes up in its seat share holding. That's the vote wipe calculation. West is again 50 seats. This is the Congo belt also comes into this West region. Again, this is supposed to be...
Apparently, according to the vote shares, which we'll come to region-wise, I just want to quickly bring your attention to the fact that in KTCC, one second, TVK is picking up. In KTCC, TVK is picking up about 21% of the vote.
Correct.
In the north, picking up about 15%.
15%. So no seats.
13.9% in Delta.
In Delta. So
in
no
South,
seats again.
16.7%.
South
in
again.
West, West,
let's
picking
move
up,
to the next region.
Let's just pick in West, picking up 14.6.
Can you move forward on Delta and after that bring South in also?
That's right. So we'll bring the South.
Let's bring South in also.
So there is traction only really in the KTCC belt where he's got 21% of the vote. Everything else
KTCC and there will be some traction in the South and in the Delta region because Delta is just north of Chennai.
South is 16.7, which is, you're right, which is the second highest after KTCC, but by a big gap. Now, the interesting thing is, in Christian voters, among Christian voters, 23.5% of the vote. Muslims, 13.6%. And upper caste Hindus, 19.8%, OBC, 14.6%, STs, 15.7%, and SCs, 16.5%.
Right. Now, the upper caste Hindus largely in the KTCC belt, Christians in the south KTCC belt, Muslims are coming again in the south and some in the west. That's where and of course in the KTCC belt. See, this is where he's gaining his seats. Where are the other seat share gains? Look at North. This is again about 140 seats.
Can I come in, please?
No.
If he gets 8 to 15% of the vote share, randomly I'm talking about, if he gets 8 to 15% of the vote share, he doesn't need to win seats. He's going to make a dent on the outcome of these results.
Correct. And that's why we are saying it's hurting the DMK chances because they are the ones fighting anti-incumbency. His campaign has been against Stalin. He didn't call Edappadi Palaniswamy an uncle. He called Stalin an uncle. So the jibes were against the DMK. That's how the
But he could always, in a post-election scenario, he could go with them. He's not made clear who he will
go. Whether he goes or not is a different. I'm looking at the projections. I'm looking at what the other pollsters are done. No. One explaining the logic of vote why.
Uncle is not an insult. You know, it's
not Twitter. You should know this.
He's used the term Tiya Sakti, evil force for the DMK. The entire election, he has called it a battle between Tiya Sakti, which is evil force, and Tuya Sakti, which he calls for himself, which is a pure force of good.
You remember Arvind Kejriwal's first election in Congress?
So that kind of narrative he has set.
This is the IPAC playbook.
Yeah. The point is, Anand,
we'll see on 4th.
Those seats in the south and delta. I mean, look, I've gone through 234 of those seats. South, the seats that the Christian seats, DMK Congress combined wins by 40,000, 50,000 votes.
Correct. So this time
Even
they may
if
win by
Vijay
20,000 votes, even if there is an erosion, but they will still win.
They will
because
still
the
win.
holds in these
Can I
seats
add
are
to
so
what
strong.
Dr.
So
Raman
that's
is
why
saying?
this
Anand-
math done by some of the pollsters, because I've spent time in Tamil, I'm invested, I'm a Tamilan, so I've tried to understand what's going to happen. Can there be a three-way race at all? And that's deep dive, and that's why it's bamboozling those seat shares that have been given. And
Anand-
how pollsters have done that math is something that I'm
Anand-
trying to understand. Yeah.
The point was made about Kejriwal by Chetan. Kejriwal in his first election had a 28% vote share. We gave him about 28 odd seats. He had a higher vote share in the next time when the second time the election happened. So Delhi and Tamil Nadu, of course, are apples and oranges.
No, but that was also because, Nalin, he could win substantively with about 28% because
Correct.
there were two other equal polls in BJP and in Congress. Congress was the dominant poll. So basically here you have a situation where with 28%, you're seeming to suggest that he is not going to.
So the point I'm trying to make is that the threshold in an election like Tamil Nadu historically, the threshold for winning seats is much higher.
Much higher.
So to give you perspective, when MGR played for the first time, he won 33% of the vote and he swept the election. The threshold, to my mind, in Tamil Nadu would be somewhere between 20% plus to win significant amount of seats. At least 15%.
30%
Anything below that is.
We have established this at New Matrix that in Tamil Nadu the threshold is 30% vote share.
No.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
just
I
quickly,
disagree.
this is another set of numbers which I have to thank you all for and our viewers for, that we are actually zooming past in terms of the concurrent views that we are getting, especially for our election coverage. As always, the viewers staying with CNN News 18. So congratulations to all of you and thank you very, very much. You guys are the ones who are helping us do this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Just bringing the focus back to Dr. Raman and some of these numbers. Let's go panelist by panelist and understand this breakdown. Because if we can just look at these numbers, I want you to explain to me, how is it that TVK in KTCC out of 37 seats is getting 3 to 5? Yet is significantly damaging DMK and is not seen as an alternative even when it comes to the AIDMK. So either he should be in second position or he's such an outlier that fundamentally he doesn't really dramatically change the status quo except for denting the DMK. Can you please explain what is going on here? Because I'm not an expert on Tamil Nadu at all.
Okay, so Chennai, by and large, last time was 16 out of 16 for DMK. They swept the election in 2021. Many of those seats were won by massive margins, right? Which is why I find 3 to 5 a bit of a stretch. Vijay could take a lot of votes in Chennai that could all add up to his vote share. He could possibly win his seat in Perambur, maybe one more seat somewhere. But that still does not give him the muscle to get these 12, 14 or whatever number of seats across the state. Second,
I mean, by this vote 5 poll, only 3 to 5. Here.
So
and,
see,
and
see,
a few
you
more.
know,
one point,
Rahul,
Anand, where I disagree with you
that
is
3 to 5
he doesn't need
is
30%.
in the urban pocket of Kanchivaram, Tiruvallur, Chennai, Chengalpet.
One second.
Yeah.
Just one small
Coming
clarification.
to everybody, one by one.
One small point. I don't agree that you need 30% to actually get seats.
Yes.
Let me give you the example of a party called the PMK. The PMK has an average of about 5.5% vote share across the state. This is confined to 30 seats. There is no presence in the rest of the 200 odd seats. So therefore, PMK on its own in the past used to win 5 or 6 seats. And their overall vote share was
You are proving my point. The point that I'm trying to make, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, is this. If he's such a big urban phenomena and he's so popular amongst the youth and a large number of women, as the vote share seems to suggest, why is he languishing at 3 to 5?
Because I'm going to ride off the back of Dr. Sumant Raman's example. See, PMK was very successful because it applied to one constituency, the 1 year belt, and it was getting entirely the 1 year vote. The problem with Joseph Vijay is We don't know who he is plying to. Is it the youth? Is it this? He hasn't found one niche, and therefore it is too spread out to be concentrated in any
you look at the total number of voters in Tamil Nadu, the percentage of voters who are youth. That percentage of voters, let's assume that all youth in Tamil Nadu have voted only for TVK. That base, what I'm trying to say, I'm just giving a scenario that even that is not enough for Vijay to be able to convert to seats. The other thing, when you take the case of one minute. When you take the example of PMK, DMDK, or some of these smaller parties, what happens is they fight in alliance across the other seats and they contribute to each other. Now, PMK is a case 30 seats only.
I'm talking about 20.
Yeah, but
they
here,
contested alone.
but sir, here TVK was not fighting 30 seats. TVK is fighting all 234 seats. They're fighting it alone, and that's why they have to actually buck the behemoths. Now, what?
That usually does not work.
Let me.
Like
Okay. Now here is another outlier. Axis has come out and said TVK is winning this election.
What is that?
Axis has come out and said, let's look at that number. Can we put that number out somewhere? We've just got the information that Axis has come out and said right behind us.
Let's have a look.
There you go. Says TVK will get 98 to 120 seats.
Wow. The only one to say this.
Now, see,
right?
this is what I'm saying. If the voter has made up its mind that TVK is going to be in the running. Excuse me. That's exactly what I'm saying. Here is where, if one were to believe, if one were to believe,
it keeps showing.
No, it keeps showing. No,
so
no,
both are
it
getting.
flips again, and now
No,
it's
maybe both are getting
92 to 110.
Okay, maybe
Yeah,
there is,
because even
maybe there
Vijay
is
won't
something wrong
expect
here.
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if there was such a, gentlemen, 1 minute please. If there was such a big wave for the TVK, it would have reflected across every poll. If there was such an anti-incumbency raging wave against both the AIDMK as well as now, I don't understand what's going on.
You know what's happening here? They are saying that the ADMK is routed. 1 minute. No. 1 minute. What they are saying is that a 40% vote share of the ADMK plus is routed, and that entire shift has happened to TVK. So the DMK has its vote, and all the ADMK India votes have got.
I'm not buying that.
So here it is, gentlemen. Here it is. DMK.
I think there's a typo.
Okay, no, it's not. It's
No,
not.
it's
I've
not.
just. Okay,
234
one second. I've just got it up here.
Correct.
Why don't we come and we just show it here? This is what the number is. This is Access My India. Access My India claims to be, of course, one of the most accurate polls around. So here we have it. Here you can see the DMK is at 90-110. Vote share is 35%. The TVK 98-120. Vote share 35%. AIDMK 22-32. With a vote share of just 23%.
Yeah, 234.
But out of the
This
race,
is massive.
out of the
Whatever
race,
it is,
NTK
it
is
just a very big
3%,
number.
and others are 4%. So this is the outlier poll, but it clearly suggests that there it is. So it's on our screens right there. Now, viewers, this is what we're being told: 90-110 is the DMK. We have the TVK that is in the driver's seat. It needs about 114. If you take a medium of that, you'll probably be at about 110. So just a little shy. And then you have the AIDMK with 22-32. So it's a medium of that is about, what would that be, about 26?
Yeah.
And here, unfortunately for the DMK, they fall short of the halfway mark. So it's TVK all the
100
way.
seats. That's right.
And Vijay becomes the chief minister, perhaps the first actor after decades.
Are you willing to accept that the entire ADMK vote has transferred to TVK?
Well, anything can happen. That's what I'm trying to say.
If
that is the
they are
assumption.
missing Jayalalitha, they are missing their movie star leader.
No
That's
way.
what they want,
No
and
way.
they got. But
It seems improbable, but every time in elections I've seen that
No,
this
is
cannot
I mean,
happen.
It cannot.
Sometimes
It cannot.
things
Sometimes
do
whole
happen,
scale
yeah.
vote transfer.
No, but
This
he's
cannot
qualifying
happen.
it.
This is
He's saying that the unpredictable can happen is what
It's
he's
up
saying.
in
there are-
Delhi. So up
sometimes
Delhi,
it's-
same thing happened. AIDMK will come Congress. They will give him the support, and they will make the
so here you
One,
have a
for
situation.
sure, he is converting votes into seats. To what extent he does is, I think,
You believe he's
Now
going to
you are
pull
only
100
saying why aren't
people?
people going all
You
the
believe
way?
he's going to
Well,
pull
they
100
have
So
gone all the way.
that's precisely what I'm saying.
In Tamil
If
Nadu,
people have
114
decided that
seats.
they're going to vote for change, then obviously it's Vijay. They've tried out the other two options for 50,
It's a
60 years.
rejection of
Let me
Indian
finish.
politics. I'm telling you,
For
if
50,
this is-
60 years,
No,
they've
what I
tried out.
find difficult,
This is
Anand,
a
only-
rejection.
No.
This is a rejection
both.
of the ADMK
No,
and
ADMK
the
is also
NDA. This is
Dravidian.
an outright. No.
ADMK is also
No,
driven
Anna,
in.
1 minute.
Not
DMK
NDA.
is still at 110. What this is showing is that the NDA, those 12 parties, including PMK put together, are not going to get 32 seats. I'm saying the ADMK at its worst has been always at 61.
But that
and
doesn't matter. Look, history can repeat itself in
but you're
different
not
ways.
saying something is possible.
Rahul,
It might
this,
be.
quite honestly,
It might
Rahul,
be.
this is quite frankly bizarre.
It's
I don't
okay.
think
If it's-
even TVK people are not saying this.
I'm not. Look,
agar ho
one
na-
second,
No,
gentlemen.
even in their wildest dreams,
Okay,
they
okay,
don't
one
have-
second. Let's have order here, please.
No.
1 second. Let's just.
And this is
listen.
not
Let
the
me
feedback
frame
from the
this.
ground.
Let me frame this for you. Okay. If the voter believes that there is a problem, that two established groupings have not done it justice, right, for all these decades, and Tamil Nadu needs fervent change, they will definitely back then the pretender to the throne, which is Vijay. They will say, okay, if that is the way it is going to be, we're going to go for Vijay. Now I want to ask you.
No, that should bring the
One second,
DMK down.
One,
no?
one by one. I'm not talking about who it's going to, who he's going to damage. But Mr. Iyer Mitra, then we would have seen a massive wave. And everyone would have perhaps been talking about this in the lead up.
Did you see this wave?
Did we see this?
On the ground, I have not seen any
There
wave
is
in Tamil
no
Nadu. Okay,
wave.
there is. He told everyone that you need to wear these beige trousers and white shirt
And
and
there
come
were,
out and
in
vote.
some
And
constituencies,
throughout
a
the
limited
morning,
number of
there
people
were
who did
nobody
wear.
who came out to vote. In the afternoon, sure, some of these whistle kunjas came out to vote, but throughout the morning, there was absolutely nothing. There is. See, when you see this kind of a wave, this is a very visible wave. You see the trends on the ground. You're not seeing it on the ground. EPS, for all his faults, is not that incompetent to lose in such a spectacular fashion.
And he drew massive crowds.
And he drew really massive crowds. Like we said,
But
he
that
might
was
have
true.
been
That
absentee
was
during
true
the
of the
5 years, but his
NDA
campaign was
in the
fantastic.
Lok Sabha elections also. Massive crowds. Annamalai was mobbed by people. There was a massive surge of so-called attendance at the rallies, but it didn't translate into votes.
It translated into votes. It didn't translate into seats.
No, come on.
Sir, the BJP came up to say.
NDA got, what was it, about 14-15% of
Yeah,
the
so
vote?
The alliance got 18%.
No, but please
Alliance got
understand.
18%.
Please
Okay.
understand that the NDA, the BJP at that time was fighting on its own without the ADMK, and it was the first time that the BJP on its own across the seats got 15% vote share. That was a standalone BJP vote share. So that's
But
what.
there was no Vijay there.
Correct.
that
What
time.
I'm trying to say is at that
The
time.
third poll was the BJP.
Yeah, the third.
So maybe the BJP
that was at the Lok Sabha level, Rahul.
That's
What
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying.
I would love to see TVK get this 120 because I am a Vijay fan. Let's say that. But realistically, on ground, you cannot take away the might of Edappadi Palaniswamy and the ADMK. The ADMK on any given day is assured of a 26% vote at its worst. At its worst, it's assured of 26%.
Excuse me, this 22 to 32 includes PMK,
Yeah.
includes BJP, and mind you, BJP
This
does,
includes 13 parties, Rahul,
much of
this
it is
ADMK plus.
complementary vote.
How is that possible? This number of axes, they have said 13 parties put together are going to get 30 seats. The ADMK on its own, if it contests, will get 61 seats.
Okay,
I'm
playing
just saying
devil's
this
advocate.
arithmetic doesn't make sense.
Maybe some personalities don't want to upset the incumbent government, but they also want to see somebody else win. So let's slam dunk the ADMK. Who knows, viewers?
Yeah, I'm
doesn't know.
just saying, let me ask you this in this house before we go. Tushar Gupta is also here. We're just counting down to Bengal and we'll shift focus to Bengal. Let me ask you. My campaign was stitched against you. You are the incumbent. Okay. This is the established challenger to this incumbent. If people want to vote for me, will their voter come and vote for me, or will your voter come and vote for me if there is anti-incumbency? Right now, all pollsters are saying his voter will also challenge, his voter will come and vote for me, and their voter will continue to vote there because there is no, despite the anti-incumbency. This logic is somewhere it defeats the whole thing.
And ADMK alliance NDA never took on TVK for TVK voters to mobilize in his favor.
Correct.
The DMK fought this campaign against Vijay.
Anyhow,
they took on him.
The outlier poll right now that everyone is talking about, which has become the national talking point, is the Axis My India poll because of this very polarized projection.
We are also
That-
an outlier.
that-
Vote
that
Vibe
puts-
is also an outlier because it's called
Yes.
ADMK as the winner.
So now,
Vote Wipe and JVC are the two outliers.
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
JVC is not on the list.
No, not JVC. Access My India, because he's calling
Right,
TVK.
that's a
That's a
bizarre outlier. But there are, if you look at
Can
the
I just, quick
Sure.
point. You know, this is like that line from Harry Potter that the Dark Lord will nominate his own nemesis. You know, when he puts the mark on this thing.
So I would
the
want to
DMK
get Amitabh-
focused a lot more on
Can we
attacking
get
the
Amitabh
TVK.
Tiwari back into the
So you know
studio?
that they have nominated them as the opposition, possibly knowing the fact and wanting to take away from the ADMK vote. I suspect a lot of what we're seeing is that is what has happened, number one. And number two, there is this thing, given that it is personality based, it was a very smart move on part of the DMK that even if you are anti-DMK, right, anti-incumbency right now, you would not know where to vote. And therefore, you yourself would divide.
Sir, and there is one more. There's one more point. If they have all taken the parliamentary election of 2024 as a base, then everybody's made a mistake because they have not pooled the votes together of the BJP, the PMK, and of course the ADMK and its other allies. So that combination of the vote share has also changed. And that is something
the
which
one reason why
one more
point. So there's one reason why I have a problem. The only reason I have a problem with the Access My India, look, I'm not somebody who knows the caste combinations, etc., is that, look, if there's so much anti-incumbency, the TVK has to fly in and become the savior. How is it that the DMK is still standing?
Number one.
And second,
That doesn't add
वही तो question है.
You're punishing.
Question वही है. अरे anti incumbency इसके खिलाफ, campaign उसके खिलाफ, सीट आपने ADMK के कम कर दी. Logic में को समझ नहीं आ रहा.
And the Congress, all the Congress vote, or at least a significant amount of it, would have shifted to TVK because throughout TVK said we are pally with Congress. Congress people want us. In fact, Rahul and Stalin never shared the dais.
The universal talk in Tamil Nadu is that the allies of the DMK are not doing well.
Correct.
Okay.
That
They would have
itself
shifted
is
to
40 or
TVK.
50
So,
seats.
so then
And
how
here
are
we
all
are.
these seats possible? I just have a feeling there should be a column change
They
here,
would have shifted to
except for
TVK.
vote wipe. For the rest, it should be like this. Then this logic actually makes sense. If you want to make sense of what the TVK is achieving, you have to change this column. ADMK has to gain seats and DMK has to lose seats for the TVK to gain this. Because the whole structure of the campaign has been against Stalin. And the base, the voters will move, disgruntled voters, alliance, everything,
So if,
you know.
again,
So
if-
nobody is
if
grudging
Vijay
TVK their
polls
seat,
more
but
than-
this then doesn't make sense.
So
if
this
Vijay polls
argument-
more than 10%, that means DMK cannot get these numbers.
Yeah,
Correct.
no, this
So there's no
argument.
chance.
Okay, I tell you why Access has possibly projected this. Their argument is simple. The DMK and the TVK have fought this election. All those who didn't want the DMK voted for TVK, but not enough people didn't want the DMK, so the DMK still did well.
Did well.
I mean,
That's
like,
If that makes any
Can
sense to
I
anybody.
also
It's a-
point out something? The PMK.
Stay.
Dad-
We'll
Daddy
stay with
Ramdas
Tamil Nadu
has
because this is
gone and
interesting. We can
campaigned
go
against
to
the sun.
Bengal in just a short while.
We'll get Amitabh also back. And
Yeah,
sir,
we'll get Amitabh
there
back
is
with
also,
Bengal.
one must also understand that Tamil Nadu is highly caste driven. Highly, extremely.
Absolutely.
Each zone, each region is caste driven. So the Vanyars will vote in another way. The Mukulator Tevars will vote another way. The Counters will vote another way.
Well,
then you will have the upper caste Brahmins who will vote and the Brahmins they will vote in another way. The scheduled caste will vote in a different way. Each, and they are all grouped and pocketed into different combinations.
So there's one person we've forgotten to introduce to our viewers, and that is Tushar Gupta.
Tushar, I
who's
called
coming.
him in the moment he walked in.
Tushar, what do you make of this?
Think
We
for
need
yourself
one
for
more.
now.
We need.
I walked in and I just got lost. And Abhijit had to really knock me and just ask me to wake up because 98 to 120 to TVK, I mean, that would be a revolution of sorts in Tamil Nadu.
But why are you so
Cinematic
skeptical?
level. I mean, it
give
would
us,
be-
break it down. Don't be generic. Break it down. Give me 3 or 4 logical explanations why.
Tell
you
me,
would
where's
feel-
the machinery? Where's the party machinery
Okay.
to get to 120 seats? The very basic question, where were the booth agents?
आपके पास
According to the
मशीनरी
one-
कहाँ था? इन पंजाब जीत गए ना?
Punjab,
रिवायती
Aam
पार्टी
Aadmi
को
Party
हराया
was
ना?
the primary opposition in 2017.
That's
They
true.
won in 2022. It was a wave election, but they had certain machinery on the ground, and they were the primary opposition in 2017.
Okay, so make your point. So you
This
say
is-
lack
I
of
mean, I
machinery.
think we have to add that the Rasigar Mandrams, the fan clubs are actually very powerful in Tamil Nadu.
They have won some local elections.
They kind of
Yeah,
function as
but then a
as
few
party.
thousand
One
booths
second,
TVK
one
was
second.
not present.
Let's. He's only started out, and
Firstly,
he's
where is the
already
election?
started a debate. So first point is no election. election
No
machinery.
election
Okay.
machinery, no booth agents, and then the DMK standing. So are you telling me AIDMK voters who were sick and tired of the DMK, who wanted AIDMK to come back, suddenly said, oh no, Vijay is a superstar, let's give our votes to him. And the DMK voters said, we'll stick to the DMK, and suddenly AIDMK is the loser?
No. So
I mean, it makes zero sense.
How did
That's
it-
exactly
how
the
did-
point.
Okay, how did it happen for AAP's first election? First, they sucked away like when a wave comes, they sucked away like a vacuum cleaner the votes from Congress, which was very unpopular at that time. Then what happened next election? They went to 67 seats. They sucked away the BJP's votes also. Did they or did they not? They sucked both the votes. They will come. If this is there, and if they can't make a government,
No, but Chetan, that logic,
your own
breaks.
logic. In Delhi, the Aam Aadmi
I know it.
Party
I know
never-
the sequence is a
never-
bit different.
No. In your own
but I
logic,
have
So
to
they will
ask
one minute.
something
In your own logic, who did the AAP pinch first? The incumbent, right?
Yeah. And then Sheila Dixit was very
So they heard the Congress first. At that time, also the BJP, which was a challenger, retained its 33% vote share.
Exactly. Yes.
But इस case में वो कह रहा है कि
But
ADM के तो
he
BJP
will
उसका vote
come.
करेगा।
See, the core BJP voter in Delhi always stuck to the BJP. It never went away. This
It went
logic
away in the next
says,
election.
this logic
No,
says
it
the
did.
core
There was
DMK
2-3%
voter.
was moved
No,
up.
if you want to make a comparison, here what's happening is
वैसा
the core
नहीं.
DMK voter says, I'm with the DMK. The AIDMK voter who wants a change through AIDMK suddenly looks at Vijay and says, this is my hero.
Well, it can happen. You lose hope in your party's leadership. You
Not
feel
at
you don't
all.
have
But
a
in the run-up,
No.
no.
You
No.
lose
No.
over DMK का voter PDP का जाएगा।
No, that's a
ADMK
fair
का voter
question.
नहीं जाएगा।
No, if you lose
If
hope
I'm
in your party
AIDMK,
leadership,
I lose hope in my leadership. I'm not impressed by
That's
that.
not-
agreed,
I'm
Chetan, agreed.
Vijay, man. I mean,
Yeah.
No, I'll answer that. I'll
Divide
answer
and
that.
Amitabh.
One
I
second.
think
No,
let's-
one
second
second.
point.
If you're losing hope in your
I
party
think
leadership,
they, throughout this campaign, I was there almost for 2 weeks. EPS held his entire party together. There has never been any sign of party
But does he
losing
have
hope.
charisma?
Yes, he does have.
Absolutely.
As a strong
And-
political leader, he held his party together. Massive campaigns
And the coordination.
and almost similar to
Brilliant.
चेतन आपको एक बात बताऊं
So therefore-
चेतन आपको
Again,
एक बात
one-
बताऊं you know who Edappadi Palaniswamy is? Edappadi Palaniswamy was the AICC general secretary during Jayalalitha's time. He was the person who had control of the party. Why do you think when say AIDMK general secretary, he was the AIDMK general secretary. He controlled the party leadership. He continued to hold down the legislative party and also the party organization, even when the diffusion happened with Jayalalitha. When Sasikala broke away, Dinakaran broke away, O Pannirselvam happened. EPS controlled the party. He's organizationally the most strongest embellished man. That's one.
I give it to you.
So, second thing,
But
even
as a
magic
chief
is
minister, charisma.
no. But second, all through these years, since Jayalalitha, 2017, 2018 onwards, till now, the ADMK vote has not withered. That base vote share remains.
Okay, so just
No,
for
but
it's
the,
not withered.
one point about
One
hope.
second, gentlemen,
You know
gentlemen.
what they're saying in Tamil Nadu?
No, one point he made about
And
losing
he's
hope
the
in
only
party
MBC
leadership.
face.
Magic,
So
not
that
logic.
caste grouping,
That's what they say.
So
Magic,
just-
not logic.
But if AIDMK voters are losing hope in the party leadership, why would there be any anti-incumbency against the DMK? Then also the DMK numbers
That's
make
right.
no sense.
So can I
numbers make
can I
no
sum
sense.
this up for viewers who
So
must
how
be
can all
really
of them
one
be
second,
wrong
one second,
then?
one
So
second, one
everyone
second.
is such a
So
this is
one
one
second.
second.
So let us get rid of
We have the highest
supposition
concurrent
that
viewers.
there is
We must
anti-
be
Okay, one second. For the
Maybe there is no
purposes
anti-incumbents.
of viewers who are just tuning in and are mind boggled because they're seeing 20 people talk about some bizarre thing. Now let me just take a step back and tell you what is exactly happening here. There's been a poll of polls, viewers, and we have huge number of conflicting assessments coming from Tamil Nadu. So we have the vote vibe, which is a CNN projection here, CNN News 18, which shows that the DMK will get about 103 to 113. The AIDMK 114 to 124, so just above the halfway mark. And the TVK, which is Vijay, between 4 and 10, so about 6-7 seats. Access My India says the DMK is going to hang in there, is short of the halfway mark. The AIDMK has collapsed completely, and it is a TVK that is going to surge ahead. You have Matriz, you have People's Pulse, PMark, People's Insight, and Praja Poll that are in varied degrees giving DMK another term in office. and the TVK not much. The AIDMK to varying proportions a second place. Now, viewers, it's these two polls, the Vote Vibe and the Access My India, that is striking a massive conversation around our table, because fundamentally, if one were to believe that there is anti-incumbency and it's incipient and it's deep against the ruling alliance, which is the DMK alliance, you can't have a situation where the closest competitor is blanked out, punished for no rhyme or reason. The DMK retains quite a bit of its hold, but the change runs away with it. So if there is anti-incumbency, the first party to be punished would be the DMK coalition. The ADMK would perhaps be somewhere in the middle, and the TVK would run away with this election. Vote Vibe seems to suggest that there is enough anti-incumbency, but not to the extent that people presume. So it's not going to be so decisive, but it will be relatively clear, simple majority for the AIDMK, the challenger, because of its massive coalition alliance, caste alliance, and so on and so forth. But fundamentally, Vijay won't be a factor. So it is here, viewers, that we have two extreme polls that are really talking about two extreme outcomes. And that is a conversation we were having. Tushar Gupta doesn't agree. Believes that the TVK is not such a big factor.
I don't.
Very quickly, why?
There's no election machinery. It's just one actor, one individual. You cannot have an entire state as big as Tamil Nadu rallying behind one actor. I can understand cinematic charisma. I can understand stardom. I can understand fan clubs. But are you telling me fan clubs overnight are more politically savvy than, say, parties that have been doing this for years and years? And am I to believe that AIDMK, of all parties, is losing its voters to TVK, not the DMK? Not the party that is actually facing that anti-incumbency? That makes absolutely no sense to me.
If Vijay were to come striding through, viewers, it would break a chain of actors not having succeeded. He would be one of the first in the last 30 years to have done so after J. Jayalalitha back in the 80s. So this would be a massive leap of faith. It's happened, of course, in other democracies. It's happened in Ukraine, for example, where a comic came and won the election. It happened in Nepal. So you have change like that. It can happen dramatically.
Rahul, one thing. Let's all of us agree that it's cinematic charisma. This is Vijay's stardom.
Yeah.
Why is the stardom heavier on the AIDMK voters side and not the DMK voters side?
I will tell you why.
Okay.
I'm an AIDMK voter. I hate the DMK. But I don't think the AIDMK cannot defeat them. I feel that guy will defeat them. I just hate the DMK. I want them defeated. I will go with this guy because looks like he has a plan. I like his speeches, the way he attacks the DMK.
Okay.
Let me support him.
Yes.
I don't think ADMK voters would have any reason to believe that their party cannot take on DMK. That is not the ground situation.
When you're such an exciting guy,
one second.
and you're young.
No, let me. So so certainly the entire campaign that TVK ran, Vijay ran, was against the DMK, and the vote share that DMK has is not its loyal vote, because if that were to be the loyal vote, they would have won every single election. They have not won a repeat election since 1972 for more than 3 decades. So,
sorry, quickly bring, this is the vote by vote tracker.
Let's take the JIP.
Look at the approval rating that
CM
Paliswamy had. Just 1%.
Let's take the JIP cam on that.
And he was at 14%. He was at 14%. He was at 14%.
EPS has been rated very highly in the past, and even now his ratings are high. Compared to Stalin, this I'm talking about what people say. He is considered to be a much better administrator. This is the public discussion.
Even the young people, even the first-time voter.
You see, young people across all political parties might swing towards TVK, but that is partly neutral.
The base is not as much to give him those I just told you, that even if all youth were to vote for the TVK, they will still not swing the election.
So what are we seeing at the back?
EPS campaigns.
And
campaigns are a good indicator. They were very, very largely attended.
And he's not a small leader. EPS may not be a national face, but he's not a small leader.
I will respect, he's not even winning both his assembly seats. I'm putting this plate is bite out on the day of this. But more importantly, why would the people of Tamil Nadu, the great people of Tamil Nadu, vote a guy's chief minister who for flood relief calls those to get relief to his house? The Nepo kid, when people died in the tragic accident, ran away like a coward. No politician. You can be a Congress politician, BJP politician, DMK, AIDMK. So you are an ex-MP. No politician runs away. This guy ran away. Then for relief, he called those victims to in a resort in a bus. You think people of Tamil Nadu would vote for somebody like this? They've got it completely
Whether
wrong.
they're right or wrong, it's the poll of polls the polls that we are looking at. We're not saying अब all these नहीं access नहीं है यार, सब लोग कह रहे हैं.
He danced many a time.
All of them are saying it.
He is a pollster. Listen.
All of them are saying it that the TVK is
actually,
doing very
if you look
well.
at the poll of polls, interesting. So, no, Tehseen, you've just walked in and along with Sarah Shah, so interesting things in Tamil Nadu. The vote wipe, or what we've put out here as the exit poll projections with vote wipe, we're saying that the ADMK will benefit from the DMK's anti-incumbency. And it's going to be a little close, but DMK is going to fall. And he will pick up votes. He will pick up about 15 to 18% vote share. But seats is not going to be too many. 4 to 10, less than double digits actually. But what Access My India is saying is that there is not so much anti-incumbency against the DMK, but all ADMK supporters are going to move to TVK, and it's going to be lock, stock, barrel as in 98 to 1. This is quite bizarre for somebody to project, but they have. So, and then look at the rest. The rest are saying he's going to get seats in double digits, and it's the ADMK plus that will suffer. This combination of 13 parties will suffer. But the DMK will continue to benefit and they will continue to gain. Now, in a scenario like this, if you have to do the arithmetic, then the TVK has to dent the ADMK across 120 seats plus. 90 of those seats are in rural Tamil Nadu. So, whether or not somebody's applied their mind to this arithmetic is the question that we are asking. Yeah.
Can I just be brutally honest? This is outlandish. And I think this is great for social media. It gives you great traction. You become the news. If for 3 days, और वो टुक्का लग गया ना टुक्का, then you become the expert and you can come and dance here. Otherwise, how many do you remember Pradeep's got wrong?
It's not just
no. Who else is giving him? Nobody else.
Nobody is giving him absolute majority or even close to majority. But being a significant player, 18 to 20, even 18 to 24, 30 to 40.
Why is everyone Access My India's votes come from?
That is the point.
Okay, I'm not gonna. There is a local pollster.
I disagree with sir, but he'll tell
there is a local pollster in Tamil Nadu. There's a local pollster in Tamil Nadu who usually, when they do these polls in the states and the individual states, they get about 70 to 90%, 90% above, they get their projections right. They have gone seat by seat, district by district, region by region, and broken down. And wherever Vijay was going to do well, that is in the urban pockets, the Chennai, Chengalpet, Tiruvallur pockets, in south where the Christian population is a little heavy, he is pinching big votes, 35 to 40% votes. But those are in a limited number of seats. Otherwise, the fight is a two-way fight between the DMK and the ADMK. Wherever he's pinching 10 to 11% votes or vote share, it's the DMK which is hurting more than the ADMK. He's pinching votes from both sides. Their projections on ground mirror or almost mirror what Vote Vibe has come out and projected. And I saw those numbers just now, and it's quite surprising down in Tamil Nadu. Whereas these numbers seem to be inspired by the base as Lok Sabha 2024. And that's where a lot of the pollsters may have got it wrong, because Lok Sabha 2024 should not be the base, because there was no ADMK alliance in its present form. We have
first past the post system, right? If these numbers anywhere close to this, that means there's some kind of an anti-incumbency in such a situation. Whether the DMK or the ADMK, if they don't come to first past the post, they will need support. Which way will the TVK go? Because if the TVK is such a big disruptor and he's led such an anti-DMK campaign so far, will he align with the AIDMK? Will all the others supposedly who haven't been part of any grouping or move away? Even those who were part of these groupings, will they move away? You never know with the Congress, right? You never know what they might do also.
What they might do. Yeah, GB will come. I'm just going to request our team that by 8:30, let's try and move towards Bengal. Amitabh Tiwari has walked in. Abhi. अरे भाई साहब, इतना बड़ा यहाँ पर चल रहा है बवाल.
Bengal कर रहे थे.
आप कहाँ घूम के आए? ये प्रोजेक्शन करके आप कहाँ घूम के आ गए?
Anand, I expect you to speak a bit of Tamil
yes.
because we are discussing Tamil Nadu for such a long time.
Sir, நான் தமிழ் பேசினா இங்க யாரும் புரியாது. நான் தான் தமிழ்
What புரியாது? Excuse me, just because Abhijit has gone out, I can understand. Go on.
Okay.
Oh, you
Anand,
can. Okay.
you see,
So I can understand Kannada. So you can respond Kannada.
right.
You can do that. Yeah.
But I can understand Telugu. too,
Telugu
so
also. So can I. Yeah.
okay. So let me give you a pollster's perspective. One, for new parties, sometimes which come on the horizon, it's difficult to predict exactly their what share will be because you don't have a base to project. Point number one. Point number two, the ground report suggests that TBK has done much better than you expected. But if anybody had tracked this election over the last 3 months, you cannot have a party suddenly from pre-poll 1 week before election at 15% or 10% going to 35%. It doesn't happen that way.
Okay, so
if somebody is predicting 100 seats, what was their projection a week ago?
Okay,
2
so
weeks
let's
ago?
ask Amitabh.
That's the
Okay,
Cyrus
one
Halim
second.
also
Let me-
namaste. We're talking Tamil Nadu. We'll talk Bengal very soon.
Just
Anji.
1 second. I just want to bring in Amitabh. Amitabh, there are two polls which are the center of the conversation. One is Vote Vibe, one is Axis. Both have different, very different, absolutely different, one should say, conclusions. First, tell me, what do you think of the Axis poll?
See, प्रदीप गुप्ता जी is our guru, so Axis poll के बारे में ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोलूँगा मैं. Poll है, उनका opinion है, हमारा opinion. One thing is very clear from all this: if you add ADMK and TVK in most of the polls, it will be largely closer to or higher than DMK's number. There is significant anti-incumbency against DMK. Now the question is whether it splits and helps the DMK, like in some of the polls like Metri 122 to 32, it is just marginally above the halfway mark, which is 118. Or the ADMK being the poll party and a poll Dravidian party and the main opposition party takes benefit of that, which we feel is likely to be, or a newcomer takes benefit of that. Even in Axis My India, if you add TVK and ADMK, in fact, Axis My India is showing lesser numbers for DMK than us, which means that there is higher anti-incumbency according to them. So the state is up for grabs.
No, but the point is, and this is a question that I want to ask you, because roughly speaking, the Axis My India and the Vote Vibe projections for DMK are roughly the same. Yes. 10 seats
marginally,
here.
yeah.
So they're roughly the same. So both of you feel that there's anti-incumbency, but not enough to decimate the DMK. We're not seeing the DMK come down to where the ADMK was in the last election.
Yes.
So you're saying that there is residual influence left in the DMK to hold on. So there is still
welfare schemes.
Where you
strong
differ is
organization.
who gets that
benefit.
anti-incumbency vote.
Yes.
Now I'm asking, if there is a vote for change and there is such a thirst for change, why is the DMK getting still the numbers that it is getting? Why isn't it being flattened out? If there is a thirst for change, shouldn't it be the DMK that punishes? And both the ADMK and the TVK might fight it out.
I think somebody was mentioning about what was the 1 week prior number, etc. We have been tracking this. Sir has been mentioning. Phase 1 DMK was ahead. Phase 2, when we did almost balance, anybody can win. Phase 3, which was April 6th, the ADMK started to gain advantage of this anti-incumbency. Between then and now, Vijay's campaign has picked up. Number 1. Number 2, this delimitation bogey has come in between. Correct. Now delimitation is an emotional issue in the south, and of all the 4 states, or rather the 2 states, West Bengal and Tamil Nadu, it has some impact over the middle and the urban class. Correct? That's number 1. Number 2 is that Vijay's campaign has picked up, and it seems that he has, if Axis My India poll numbers are correct, he has sought the imagination of this anti-incumbency votes and he is pulling through, whereas we feel that it's the ADMK which has sought this imagination of this anti-incumbent
Is it
voters.
probable for the AIDMK and a huge number of caste-based coalition parties to completely implode before Vijay? Or their voters voting for TVK because that's what's
हट
happened.
गया, 1 year vote हट गया, बीजेपी का 15% standalone vote हट गया, ADMK 13
So
party
let's
का
put
vote.
that question. I've asked
So
you
that's
that question.
only possible in a scenario when the voters are rejecting both DMK and ADMK.
That's what I'm saying. So either
Both
the
DMK
TVK should
and
be
ADMK.
getting 160 seats, 170 seats. It can't be that it's a tight, like just a little over halfway. Okay.
The polls
Also,
are
to add-
suggesting.
Yes.
Also, to add one point to it, if the delimitation was the issue, then Vijay should not get that many
DMK
votes
should
because
win.
no, Vijay should not get that many votes because Vijay did not attack the AIDMK as much as he attacked the
Yes.
DMK. So they would think that he would go in an alliance
Okay.
with the BJP.
Now,
So it doesn't
one
make
important
sense.
Yes.
issue. See, TVK as a major factor was not visible even on the ground until 4 days ago.
Yeah.
If any of these numbers, 30 plus seats, were to be evident, this would be a new phenomenon in elections. Impulsive polling.
Yeah. Okay.
So people have gone in the morning and decided to
Fourth,
vote.
viewers,
And
fourth,
until
we
then
will
they
know.
were
But
they
only
were-
What we will
AIDMK
happen?
voters.
Huh?
We will very
No, sir, but
very
sir, only
very
AIDMK
important
voters.
thing.
How come
No,
the
what-
DMK voters are not
Absolutely.
voting?
That's what
Correct.
that's what
Okay.
I'm trying. That's what I'm trying. The issue
So-
is not about who wins.
Correct.
Fourth, we will
In
know.
the-
But
okay.
the logic behind
Correct. DMK has to
logic
take a bigger
behind
hit.
and
Impulsive
how-
should be everyone.
logic
Okay.
behind this calculation is not there.
Now the big reveal from Bengal viewers, phase 1 vote vibe.
We will
have
do
the man
before
of
we
the
do
match.
Bengal. I just want to quickly do a quick recap of all the 3 states
Sure.
so far. Let's
Do
do
that.
a poll of
Do
polls
that.
and आपका
Do that.
number और फिर आपको पकड़ेंगे आपको धरेंगे.
JVC also, it's also showing that ADMK.
नहीं, JVC वाला ऐड किया जाएगा, तमिलनाडु में ऐड करेंगे JVC. Let's look at Kerala.
Please, one
So-
more to our.
क्या तमिलनाडु में जो आ रहा है, देखे सर, देखिए सब दिखा रहे हैं आपको one by one. Kerala, vote vibe and largely JVC, poll mantra everywhere. The rujan is towards the UDF. The UDF moving away from the LDF and the mandate shifting towards the UDF. That's where it is. The NDA may break into the numbers. JVC gave a more generous than vote vibe over. That's what it is for the UDF. So Kerala, it is going towards the UDF. That's how the winds are blowing in one direction, that it is the UDF. So there is a change in government there. That's what the exit polls show. Out of the 140 seats, the UDF should be anywhere between 75 to 80 seats. Let's go across to the next one. That is Assam. In Assam, the clear hit out of the park. It's a one-way game. BJP plus Himanta Biswa Sharma, still a phenomenal mandate. 95 seats is what everybody is saying. 93 to 95 seats is what the BJP will get. So a handsome win, all moving in the same direction. And that's why there are no hurdles or differences, anomalies. In the case of Tamil Nadu, let's look at Tamil Nadu. Two groupings are actually giving. Let's flip to Tamil Nadu. So we have JVC and Vote Vibe, who are actually giving the mandate to the ADMK. There is one that is Axis giving the mandate to TVK, while the rest are saying that the DMK will just about hold on, even as the TVK gains at the cost of the ADMK. This logic is being questioned by a lot. The results will be evident on the 4th of May, and we'll know who gets it right. Vote Vibe, JVC, Axis, or the others like Matriz and PMARC. We'll see that. Now, let's look at Bengal. Bengal, poll of polls first up. Then we put the phase 1 numbers here at CNN News 18 exit projections. We are putting out only phase 1 numbers today. Phase 2 will be on the 30th. That's tomorrow. The Rujan largely is, except for People's Pulse, is towards or in favor of the BJP getting past the post comfortably. So almost all except for People's Strategies, Poll Diary, PMARC, JVC and Matriz are saying that the mandate is in favor of the BJP, although JVC seems to have hedged his bets a bit and said that Trinamool may just edge past the post if this scenario happens. But even then, it's the NDA or the BJP that has got its nose ahead in the case of Bengal. Now, phase 1 numbers, Amit Shah had said 110 seats is what the BJP is confident of getting in phase 1. Record voter turnout. Commendations to the voters for coming out in such large numbers. The phase 152, not 1152, 152 seats. This is the number. 88 to 98 seats. So very close to a century number. Phase 1 only. Phase 1, 152 seats. So we'll have to just split that a bit. That's all. So 51 to 61, 2 to 4 seats to the Congress, nothing to the others. So the Congress may be in, but this is a big win. This is almost nearly doubling Bengal. 55 out of 77 they had got the last time around. So Amitabh Tiwari, your thoughts behind this? Why, how, and we'll get into the zones also.
2021 Vidhan Sabha, BJP was around 59 seats in this phase. This phase has only one zone, which is the Malda zone, which has 49 seats, which has a minority majority. In other zones, there is significantly higher Hindu population. What we are witnessing, Medinipur is one of the zones which has gone to poll with 56 seats, and that is Suvendu Adhikari's core area.
Right.
Jalpaiguri with 27 seats has always been a stronghold of the BJP. So what we are seeing is that in response to misgovernance, Mahila Ashuraksha, and excessive minority appeasement, there is a significant Hindu consolidation which is happening on the ground in these 152 seats, barring the 40 odd seats which are in Malda. And this is what has given a big jump to BJP's tally, and it is expected to improve from 59 to, let's say, I think the midpoint is 94.
Right. There seems to be an issue with the graphic. I'm just going to request our team. The numbers are not showing, so just reload that. But we'll update it on the grid on the
93
on our windows.
The midpoint is 93.
So midpoint for Bengal is 93 in phase one. 93 out of the 152 seats. That actually puts the BJP in prime position. But it's also a big challenge that they have to return a highest ever and never before number in phase two. Saira Shah Halim, is this possible, this trend that others are showing?
No, I believe this is going to be a cliffhanger fight. There's no clear winner if you look at it, because the different pollsters are predicting different outcomes. Now, what will really determine who's going to win is the silent voter. And we've seen that in the rural belt, Mamata Banerjee still has a sway because of her welfare schemes and because of the women voters. However, if you look at South Bengal, BJP has made a significant inroads in South Bengal and has been able to appeal, this whole narrative about change and ending corruption. Somehow it has worked with the urban voters of South Bengal. However, rural Bengal, Didi still has a sway. I still feel that the left would gain a few seats overall. Congress is also getting about 2 or 3 seats. That is...
the first phase you're talking.
Sorry?
You're talking about the first phase.
I'm talking about right now, the first phase, we saw a highly unprecedented voter turnout. It has never happened since the independence, since the country's independence. Today's second phase also saw really high unprecedented voter turnout. So it could mean 2 things. It could mean that this generally it happens is when people are looking for change. Okay. Now, on the other hand, what the reports that are coming in is that the rural voters, because of the welfare scheme, women, irrespective of who is standing or who is campaigning, who is canvassing, en masse, they go and vote for Didi. Okay, and the minorities also generally the buzzes start consolidating votes. Now the main.
But if you're giving 4% to Congress, and in the first phase Congress is getting 4 seats, that means Congress has done TMC. Is that
that is what I said? It would get about 2-3 seats.
If you gave 4% to Congress,
4% is over 152 seats.
No, that's okay. I'm talking the first phase. 4% and 4 seats to Congress. That means Congress has significantly dent TMC because it's 40 to 44%. Is that
that's why it is denting TMC in the Malda zone.
But I'll tell you, of those 152 seats, there were 53 seats which have a Muslim population of more than 30%.
Which is what the
Mamata Banerjee anyway starts as a favorite in those seats. Now, if the Congress has to dent TMC, it will dent them in those seats. That is where I agree with Amitabh's calculation here. But if he's giving 88 to 90 in the first phase to the BJP, it means they're converting the seats where they were strong. They're converting the seats where they started making inroads in 2024. So this puts them in actually a very good position ahead of the second phase. One more thing. We still cannot quantify the gains the BJP has had because of the organic surge in turnout. Everyone seems to be attributing it to the lower denominator factor, but that is not the case.
No,
that
the
is
overall
only a
numbers were higher, right?
that is still only a part
Overall
of it.
numbers, absolute numbers, also the
higher.
voters are higher.
Higher.
Also, Anand, there's one
Not just
factor
percentage, absolute
No, but
numbers,
can I-
phase one is
one
higher.
point,
One
one
factor,
point.
just one
One
point I
point,
wanna
one
add,
point.
yeah, after you.
91 seats of
Yeah.
these 152 seats. 91. BJP made an improved. BJP improved its vote share in 2024, and we seem to think BJP had a bad election campaign in
so that's
2024.
exactly
but they
the
were
point. That's
improving their
exactly the
vote
So
share.
point. I
here
was
not
making
only is
and
the
he made
percentage
earlier.
higher, the absolute number of voters is also greater than 2021.
True, but there's a point that Amitabh made and I've been making, and I agree with what Tushar said. Yes, the BJP in Lok Sabha got 12 seats compared to 18 seats in 2019, but they won more assembly seats.
Yeah,
90 odd.
92. The
90
projection
odd, yeah.
was up from 77 to 92.
So in that particular thing, has that been?
I'll give you another. Sorry.
No,
in
please.
Bhawanipur, in 2021, the percentage point gap between the BJP and the TMC was 22. It came down to 6 in 2024. You know, sometimes you're so fixated on the seat count, we forget to look at the vote share. And this is where 2024 was very
but
See,
how
and
does
on
the
screen,
math
if you
add
see
up?
it on
And this
screen
number
right now,
reflects
How
that.
is this math
phase one is
adding
a 2% higher vote share for the BJP compared to the Trinamool Congress. So it's for the first time in this phase also 42 and 44%.
That's the math
And
is not adding up to
It
me.
is.
No,
I'll
because-
tell you why. But then what's happened is the Congress has eaten a TMC vote, whereas the Congress vote has been cannibalized by the BJP. Has that what's happened?
The
No.
Congress.
Hindu voters have shifted.
No,
from
the
TMC
Hindu voters,
to
Hindu
BJP.
voters have shifted from TMC. Plus, there is also others 10% vote share. So the others in the field who have broken away, they have
this is in
eaten
the
into
urban
the
pockets.
Trinamool Congress, and it's not
No, it's
necessarily.
the first phase.
First phase.
This is phase
first
phase.
phase.
First phase. So
Yeah, yeah.
4% vote share for the Congress party, but this 10% has also eaten into the Trinamool Congress vote share, and the BJP is also benefited with a shift of the Hindu vote from the Trinamool to the BJP.
The likes of
So-
Humayun Kabir, etc.
Huh?
The likes of Humayun
Possible.
Kabir.
Yes,
Possible.
left parties.
The left
For-
parties.
Left part. GVL Narasimha Rao, will you take this number? Will you take what the pollsters are predicting for phase one?
You see, certainly the direction, further consolidation of the BJP vote is evident. The manner in which BJP fought this election at the ground level for the past 6 months, we certainly expected a much bigger increase in the vote share. So this 44 is a gain of how much in the first phase? About 5%?
Almost
at least 5 to 6%.
5 to
So
6%.
that is the number that we require
You were
to really
38 point
cross the
something the
halfway
last
mark.
time around, so it's 44%.
So
now.
44. So 5% increase is what the BJP required to wrest power in West Bengal. And we seem to have crossed that according to our own poll, according to your poll, Amitabh Tiwari. And many other polls are also showing that. Compared to Lok Sabha election, I think Lok Sabha election, the issues were different. Here the issue was whether to let Mamata Banerjee to be in power once again or to vote for a change.
So that will only add to your gains.
Let's go across to Shubhir Bhaumik. Shubhir Bhaumik, the numbers that we are projecting seem to suggest that the BJP is now somewhere getting about 93, 94 seats in the first phase. Your first reactions to this?
Well, I would imagine it's not very much off the mark. It could be plus minus 4 or 5 either way, because in the first phase, they have their performance has been solid, and it's not unexpected in view of the fact that the first phase has been in areas where they have done quite well for the last several years. So I won't be surprised if they get something fairly close to that. Or, there are some tight seats in the first phase as well as in this phase. And therefore, 5 to 6 seats here and there, it's likely, it's not unusual. But the point is that ultimately, the battle for Bengal will be won and lost. Won or lost, not
Okay,
in the first.
let me
but
go
in this
straight
phase.
across to the hub.
This is the real battleground.
A hub where both Shubhir Bhaumik and Monojit Mondola. So let's go straight across. Let's join them. At the hub, we've set up a small hub, viewers, where we're going to be looking at some of these conversations in detail. So thank you very much. Shubhir Bhaumik, nice to see you in person. Nice to see you, Mr. Mondol. Fundamentally, we're looking at a situation, and I want to bring in Mr. Mondol here, where it appears that anti-incumbency in first phase seems to have caught up with Mamata Banerjee. Do you think this poll is projecting things right? I know that there's a variance between this poll and some of the other poll of polls.
First of all, there is no reason to trust exit poll. That was the case in 2021 and even in 2024. It is unfathomable that 2 years ago the people who voted for Mamta Di are not going to vote for her. In addition to that, you have that SIR fiasco. I think we're still sticking to the numbers that in the first phase, TMC is definitely going to cross 100 marks. And in the second phase, it's all TMC. TMC is not going to come down to 20 marks. They are going to increase their vote shares, definitely, and also the seat share. In the first phase, Mr. Rahul, in about 32,000 booths, the elections were held. In around 11 to 12,000 booths, the BJP do not have their agents. And we have seen in the villages how there is an enthusiasm for TMC. And there are not even BJP's flags flowing, anywhere in the villages, especially in this part of the Ganges. I mean, in the northern region, in the northern part of Bengal, where you have around 50 to 53 seats, BJP might do well. But, in this part, like Birbhum, Bardhaman, Bardhaman West, and Midnapur, and also in Jungle Mahal, like in Jhargram and in Bankura, is part of Jungle Mahal. BJP used to hold that parliamentary constituency till 2024. TMC reclaimed both Jhargram and Bankura.
The outcome in 2021, Shubir Bhaumik, was not the best for the BJP. It had slipped back in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. It had underperformed where it was even in 2019. And to some extent, of course, it grew in 2021, so it did well in this particular area in the north. Why would you say that trend won't hold?
No. At the end of the day, you see, Rahul. I have seen Bengal elections in '78, and I am a great believer in the fact of organization. At the end of the day, the time you are saying when the BJP slipped is because there was a lot of confusion in the BJP organization over local leadership and stuff like that. At the end of the day, Mr. Modi may be a larger than life factor all over the place. But in Bengal, people definitely, you need local organization, you need local leaders. Just Modi ji ke naam pe chunav jeet jayenge, ye Bengal mein nahi hoga. And what Manojit said is very true. You have also said, I think yesterday, or one of these days, you made point about Panchayat election. This is a very weak factor. In 2000 election, Ajit Panja, the veteran, he told me, at that time, Mamta was the challenger and Left Front was in power. He said, your Didi, and he was in her party, your Didi is saying we will win. How is she saying all this? Out of the 60,000 odd booths, can she give agent in more than 25? This is very important in Bengal.
Okay, so you're saying lacks the organizational muscle to the last mile, and therefore it's a bit impractical. Okay, let me just go across to Tushar Gupta from here. Tushar Gupta, let's split the screen on top. Tushar Gupta, how do you react to both Mr. Mondal and Mr. Bhaumik? I know that you've been doing a daily analysis, which you've been posting on your social media handles, etc. You have a very different story to tell.
About Bengal. So do you agree, disagree with Shubir Bhaumik and Manojit Mandal? Yeah.
No, I've seen the numbers from Amitabh. I'm not sure what Manojit Mandal was saying there, but look, the TMC can only start favorite in a limited number of seats. This time, the organic surge in voter turnout, which the TMC for some reason doesn't want to acknowledge and doesn't want to believe, that is going towards the BJP. In 91 of these seats in 2024, the BJP actually outshined its 2021 vote share, so they were making gains. Now they are beginning to convert it because, of course, there has been an updated electoral roll. The voters are coming out to vote. And there are a lot of TMC voters that are now going towards the BJP. It's not always that, we just need 5 or 10 more BJP voters to complete the election. It's TMC voters that are now moving towards the BJP because also they feel disgruntled after 15 years.
But there will also be a group of voters who may not want to vote for the TMC, but they will also not vote for the BJP. So where will they go?
They'll go to the left.
They'll go back to the left.
But I'll tell you, Anand, a majority of the voters who want to stick with the TMC, they'll stick with the TMC and it'll appear in certain regions. It'll appear in Marda, Mushirabad, South 24 Parganas. These regions, the TMC vote will stick. But
so let me ask you,
Alipur,
Anand, let me bring in Anand 1 second. Anand, let's go back to the wall and let's look at some of the regions in the first phase where some of these numbers are coming from, and also the vote share, if there's possible. Let's just go and try to do that.
The region-wise. So let's look at the region-wise data, and then I'll swing back to you. So let's open this up and understand the region-wise data for Bengal phase 1, how these numbers have been tabulated. So let's go for the first region is Jalpaiguri. In Jalpaiguri, again, the BJP is actually making significant gains, and this is on the back of a shift of the Hindu vote and of course consolidation because of the SIR deletions that would have happened into these numbers. So 22 to 24 seats in Jalpaiguri out of 27, so that's a big sweep. Malda again 49 seats. The last time around they were struggling at about 10 or 11 if my memory serves me right, but they've now moved up to 16 to 18. The Trinamool Congress continues to be strong here in the Malda belt. Bardhaman 20 seats. This is where the big gains also happened. The BJP was getting stronger in Bardhaman over a period of time. Now again, out of the 20, they are taking bulk of it, 11 to 13. And Medinipur, these 56 seats were very, very critical. In Medinipur, the BJP had to get more than 40 seats, and that's what it's projected to get, 40 to 42 seats in Medinipur out of 56. And this is where the biggest chunk comes. Remember, from the 2021 assembly projections, Rahul, their BJP was defending 55 of the 77 that they won last time around in this phase. But what they are doing is, in areas like Medinipur and also in areas like Jalpaiguri, these two belts, they've become so much stronger, and that their gains are actually in this phase from these two districts largely, or these two regions largely. Amitabh, and then coming back to you. Yes, Rahul.
Yeah,
So gains.
Just looking at the larger picture, here it appears that there has been a massive gain in Jalpaiguri as well as in Medinipur.
Yes.
For the BJP. This is where the bulk of the gains are coming through. Amitabh, can you talk our viewers through why this would be happening in such large numbers to put the BJP where it is in phase 1?
Yeah, so essentially, if you see, Jalpaiguri has always been a BJP stronghold. The gains there are to the tune of 2 seats. It was 21 in 2021 Vidhan Sabha, now 20.
24.
Malda BJP was 11.
Yeah.
Now here is a story with Congress doing relatively well and smaller parties like Left as well as the Humayun Kabir's party, at least on 1 seat. What is happening is that they are leading to a split of minority votes, and BJP can gain here almost 5 seats.
So you're saying the Muslim vote has split, so reducing the seat share of the
in
Trinamool,
this zone,
increasing it for the Congress,
and also helping BJP
but
in 5.
Hindu vote consolidation was also helping. So
And
both,
so double impact. Third, or rather the last one, let's take first, is the Medinipur area.
Yeah.
Medinipur is the only area where there has been additions of voters, not deletions. Number 1.
31 lakh voters were added.
Yeah. Number 2 is that it is Suvendu Adhikari's area, and the Hindu population here is 90%. Here is where the flip is happening. TMC was 33 and BJP was only 23. BJP is getting almost 43 this time, 41, 42. So 18 seats gain here. And a similar thing is happening in Bardhaman, wherein BJP was only 1 seat in 1 district, which is Birbhum. So it is gaining here significant number of seats, largely again on account of consolidation of the anti-incumbency vote in these regions and the counter-consolidation of the Hindu community because of excessive
And Bardhaman has also seen some SIR deletions, isn't it?
Yes,
all these regions
there has
have
been an
seen
impact of
deletions,
SIR
but Bardhaman
deletions also
has,
in Bardhaman.
Yeah, so SIR deletions have also shaved off the margins, plus the consolidation of the Hindu vote in some of these regions and the diffusion of the Muslim vote in an area like Malda, which 49 seats.
Let's get a quick reaction from both Shubir Bhaumik and Mr. Mondol. Shubir Bhaumik, first you. Yeah. To this.
No, well, I don't disagree with. I don't disagree with what has been said, but at the end of the day, these projections are not taking into account some of the seats which has been shown as having shifted. Some of these seats are going to be very, very tough fight, and that could swing either way, even after deletions. Deletions definitely is, putting Trinamool at a disadvantage and BJP at an advantage because of obvious reasons which I don't have to elaborate. But some of these seats are very tight fight and things could swing either way. I've been checking with my sources in intelligence agencies who do quite exhaustive service, and they say that across Bengal, there's something like 47 seats which are going to be very tight fights. Okay, and this is central India.
And of course, independent analysis that is easily available were tight fights to begin with. Even in the last election, the BJP ended up at number 2 in about 76, 74 constituencies by not a very long margin.
Exactly.
So those were tight in any case to begin with. Now you're saying that
these tight seats have come down. These tight seats have come down because of swing and BJP's gains for reasons which has already been stated. But at the end of the day, these projections will hold if BJP converts, these tight seats, cent%. Otherwise, I don't see them winning. Now, in view of, these organizational factors and other things I've said, it will very much depend on conversions of tight seats. And that's where organization comes in. Organization not just about, normal perception that Bengal muscle factor and all that. It's about mobilization, getting the granny out to vote and all that stuff.
Has really exceeded expectations in the first half. So obviously, someone has been able to mobilize, and both sides have probably done a good job.
This has been presumed that the turnout is because of anti-incumbency, which is not the case actually. The turnout is largely because of the SIR deletions. The people are really scared of losing their franchise, which has happened even today.
Evidence that I'm just purely looking at.
Rahul would be, it is both.
Okay.
There is anti-incumbency, there is no
That's
doubt,
right.
but there is also SIF.
So 1 second, Mr. Manu. Just 1 second. Obviously there has been turnout gains by about 10 to 15%. Wouldn't it be unreasonable to assume that these are only TMC voters who have come out to punish the BJP?
If you don't count the deletions, then the threshold mark would be around 85-86%.
No, we are talking about absolute numbers.
Going by, so the 5 to 6% surges that we are seeing. I mean, it's not an absolute number. It's largely because of SR deletions. I again repeat, the anti-incumbency factor could be largely neutralized because, remember, 72 MLAs, including 4 sitting ministers, were not given tickets.
But it's also an acknowledgement. If you cut it the other way, it's also an acknowledgement that we haven't done a good job.
No, in the local level, it could be there. I mean, the 15 years in the government. But, in the last moment, Mamta Di also, because of the certain schemes, like...
was anger, public anger.
Two very important aspects. Two very important aspects, Mr. Rahul. The DA, the giving of the DA, which was a long-pending demands of the middle-class people, the employer, DA, and also that, Jubashri scheme.
IPAC comes in. This is where the IPAC comes in.
I am sure that people who are not given nomination, the anti-incumbency factor. IPAC did the survey for Trinamool and pointed out something like 80 MLAs who must be changed because there is a local anti-incumbency factor. So anti-incumbency is a fact of life.
He's got some more data, projections on leadership choice for chief minister, etc., etc. Anand.
See, this is the vote tracker, and when we did this, what happened is, overall, if you were to look at it, today, Shuvendu Adhikari has edged out and become more popular as a CM choice than Mamata Banerjee. When we did the vote tracker and the first 2 or 3 editions, he was just about 5 to 6% behind. He started at 38%. Mamata Bandyopadhyay was at 44%. But she's dropped 2% and he's actually gained. And there is no third phase. So Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is at 4% and he may not even hold on to his own seat. But this shift of Shuvendu Adhikari was also evident on ground today, and I'm going to bring it into the studio here, that Shuvendu Adhikari was chasing Mamata Banerjee and he was right at her heels, and it looked like she was actually the one who was hiding in one of those areas in Bhabanipur, whereas he was out on the street walking across to a polling agent of the Trinamool Congress to have some water on a hot day. But he was out there, and there were more people chasing Shuvendu Adhikari this time, even the media, than Mamata Banerjee. So that itself shows that if she's not able to defend Bhabanipur, it's a big challenge, Saira Shah Alim and Tushar Gupta. Yeah.
I think the second phase is a very, very important testing ground for Mamata Banerjee because South Kolkata, South Bengal has been her major dominant phase. And now when you talk about strongholds, South Bengal, South Kolkata has been her forte, And right now, this entire phase, the second phase, it covers 142 of the states, to 94 seats. So the second phase is going to be extremely important. That would actually give the final verdict of who
No,
would
but I'm
actually...
asking you on ground, you read the mood, read the pulse. In Kolkata, have you ever seen the Trinamool being so nervous and so...
No, they are nervous.
Have you ever seen other party cadre being able to walk out so fully? Have you ever seen the voter come out and smile and be ready to interact?
There is an anti-incumbency sentiment, especially in South Kolkata, South Bengal, against the Trinamool Congress because of corruption, because of anti-incumbency, because of syndicate and misgovernance. So definitely the urban voters, I feel, have come out, and I myself met a few people recently who have been TMC supporters. So they told me this time they'll be voting for BJP. They said we need to see some change. So I was actually asking them, like, what kind of a change? Lesser evil, greater evil. There is another third alternative, but they were determined that they are going to vote for the bigger evil, if I may put it across, because they want to see a change. They want to see a change.
It's not about it. See, I think the simple insight was they're going to vote against Durniti.
Durniti.
Durniti is what they said. Everybody said we want to do away with Durniti, misgovernance.
Can I give you a mind-blowing statistic right now? Because you said voters coming out to smile. In Bhabanipur, you know what's the percentage point difference in the turnout? 24.
24, I know. We're just going to put out, I'm going to request the team to update the voter turnout by region, like we did in the... And then let's put out that comparison.
And at 9:45 a.m., you had Mamata Banerjee this morning complaining about the elections being rigged, complaining about the voters and her party members being intimidated, complaining how the central forces were not doing the job properly, and
they were not allowing people to vote.
That's what you were saying. Camping outside the booth of all places. This is not Mamata Banerjee we're talking about.
Yes, Rahul.
On that point, let me ask Shubir Bhaumik and Mr. Mondol two questions. Shubir Bhaumik, first to you. We haven't seen in the recent past Mamata Banerjee hitting the streets like she did in Kolkata in the morning of an election. Usually, in the second half.
Sorry, Rahul.
Large number. Yes.
So, sorry, you're having a conversation. So we said, okay, let's listen in.
Okay. Hang on, some confusion. Shubir Bhaumik, very quickly. Mamata Banerjee usually doesn't appear in Kolkata in the first half. It's usually towards the late afternoon. Do you think this is a sign of nervousness?
No, she knew this is a... she knew this is a tight election, which is why in her home constituency, which is Bhabanipur, she has to campaign so hard. You know, this Pathasabhas and this and that.
Then you're saying if it's tight, then it can
Of course, it can go anywhere. It can go anywhere. Hypothetically, yes. She has her advantage. She knows the term. You know, she has her set organization, and Suvendu essentially is coming. I'm quite amused because at the end of the day, Suvendu is from her stable. At the end of the day.
And equally, but also therefore, equal insider in some ways to the ways of politics in Bengal. So, Mr. Mondol, why would you believe that Suvendu over the last few years, as LOP also, has got a lot of visibility, has not been able to raise his profile to the point where perhaps he's even challenging a challenger? Let me also bring in Swapan Das Gupta here. Swapan Das Gupta, thank you very much for joining us. I know that you're candidate. It's been a long, arduous day for you. How are you reading the mood? Our poll, first phase, we've put out, and we're giving the TMC second dibs, really. We put the BJP up there, mean number 93 in the first phase. What's your reading? Do you think it's an accurate assessment? Do you think we've underestimating? And if you were to project further into phase two, the phase that today you found yourself sort of in the middle of, what's your expectation? What's your assessment?
You know, Rahul, what I find is very interesting about this election, particularly in the two phases, is the spike in the turnout. And I think that, to my mind, will tell the entire story of this election, because it's not about SIR, it's not about anything else. It's very basically, it has turned out to be a referendum on the very integrity and survival of West Bengal. And at least that's the issue I found, which resonates most on the doorstep and among people of different classes, etc. So,
no politician. You can be a Congress politician, BJP politician, DMK, AIDMK. So you are an ex-MP. No politician runs away. This guy ran away. Then for relief, he called those victims to in a resort in a bus. You think people of Tamil Nadu would vote for somebody like this? They've got it completely
Whether
wrong.
they're right or wrong, it's the poll of polls and the polls that we are looking at. We're not saying अब all these नहीं access नहीं है यार सब लोग कह रहे हैं.
He's danced many a time.
All of them are saying it.
He's a pollster. Listen.
All of them are saying it that the TVK is
Actually,
doing
if
very
you look at the
well.
poll of polls, interesting. So, no, Tehseen, you've just walked in and along with Sarah Shalim. So, interesting things in Tamil Nadu. The vote wipe, or what we've put out here as the exit poll projections with vote wipe, we're saying that the ADMK will benefit from the DMK's anti-incumbency. And it's going to be a little close, but DMK is going to fall. And he will pick up votes. He will pick up about 15 to 18% vote share. But seats is not going to be too many. 4 to 10, less than double digits actually. But what Access My India is saying is that there is not so much anti-incumbency against the DMK, but all ADMK supporters are going to move to TVK, and it's going to be lock, stock, barrel. And in 98, this is quite bizarre for somebody to project, but they have. So, and then look at the rest. The rest are saying he's going to get seats in double digits, and it's the ADMK plus that will suffer. This combination of 13 parties will suffer. But the DMK will continue to benefit and they will continue to gain. Now, in a scenario like this, if you have to do the arithmetic, then the TVK has to dent the ADMK across 120 seats plus. 90 of those seats are in rural Tamil Nadu. So, whether or not somebody's applied their mind to this arithmetic is the question that we are asking. Yeah.
Can I just be brutally honest? This is outlandish. And I think this is great for social media. It gives you great traction. You become the news. If for 3 days, और वो टुक्का लग गया ना टुक्का, then you become the expert and you can come and dance here. Otherwise, how many do you remember Pradeep's got wrong?
It's not just
No,
one.
who else is giving him? Nobody else is giving him.
Nobody is giving him absolute majority or even close to majority, but being a significant player, 18 to 20, even 18 to 24, 30 to 40.
Everyone Access My India is bluffing.
That is the point.
Okay, I'm not gonna. There is a local pollster.
I disagree with sir, but he'll tell
There is a local pollster in Tamil Nadu. There's a local pollster in Tamil Nadu who usually, when they do these polls in the states and the individual states, they get about 70 to 90%, 90% above, they get their projections right. They have gone seat by seat, district by district, region by region, and broken down. And wherever Vijay was going to do well, that is in the urban pockets, the Chennai, Chengalpet, Tiruvallur pockets, in south, where the Christian population is a little heavy, he is pinching big votes, 35 to 40% votes. But those are in a limited number of seats. Otherwise, the fight is a two-way fight between the DMK and the ADMK. Wherever he's pinching 10 to 11% votes or vote share, it's the DMK which is hurting more than the ADMK. He's pinching votes from both sides. Their projections on ground mirror or almost mirror what Vote Vibe has come out and projected. And I saw those numbers just now, and it's quite surprising down in Tamil Nadu. Whereas these numbers seem to be inspired by the base as Lok Sabha 2024. And that's where a lot of the pollsters may have got it wrong, because Lok Sabha 2024 should not be the base, because there was no ADMK alliance in its present form. We have
first past the post system, right? If these numbers anywhere close to this, that means there's some kind of an anti-incumbency in such a situation. Whether the DMK or the ADMK, if they don't come to first past the post, they will need support. Which way will the TVK go? Because if the TVK is such a big disruptor and he's led such an anti-DMK campaign so far, will he align with the AIDMK? Will all the others supposedly who haven't been part of any grouping or move away? Even those who were part of these groupings, will they move away? You never know with the Congress, right? You never know what they might do also.
What they might do. Yeah, G will come. I'm just going to request our team that by 8:30, let's try and move towards Bengal. Amitabh Tiwari is walked in abhi. अरे भाई साहब, इतना बड़ा यहाँ पर चल रहा है बवाल.
Bengal कर रहे थे.
आप कहाँ घूम गए? ये प्रोजेक्शन करके आप कहाँ घूम के आ गए?
Anand, I expect you to speak a bit of Tamil because we are discussing Tamil Nadu for such a long time.
Sir, நான் தமிழ் பேசினா இங்க யாரும் புரியாது. அதனால தான் தமிழ்
What புரியாது? Excuse me, just because Abhijit has gone out, I can understand. Go on.
Okay.
Oh, you
Anand,
can. Okay.
You see,
so I can understand Kannada. So you
Kannada,
will be
so
responding
there we
Kannada.
are,
So
right?
you can do that. Yeah.
But I can understand Telugu. too.
Telugu also. So can I. Yeah.
Okay. So let me give you a pollster's perspective. One, for new parties, sometimes which come on the horizon, it's difficult to predict exactly where what share will be because you don't have a base to project. Point number one. Point number two, the ground report suggests that TVK has done much better than you expected. But if anybody had tracked this election over the last 3 months, you cannot have a party suddenly from pre-poll 1 week before election at 15% or 10% going to 35%. It doesn't happen that way.
Okay,
so if somebody is predicting 100 seats, what was their projection a week ago?
Okay,
2
so
weeks ago?
let's ask Amitabh.
That's the point.
Okay, one second, one
Salim
second.
also,
Let me,
We're talking Tamil Nadu. We'll talk Bengal very soon.
just one second. I just want to bring in Amitabh. Amitabh, there are two polls which are the center of the conversation. One is Vote Vibe, one is Axis. Both have different, very different, absolutely different, one should say, conclusions. First, tell me, what do you think of the Axis poll?
See, प्रदीप गुप्ता जी is our guru. So, Axis poll के बारे में ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोलूँगा मैं. Poll है, उनका opinion है, हमारा opinion. One thing is very clear from all this. If you add ADMK and TVK in most of the polls, it will be largely closer to or higher than DMK's number. There is significant anti-incumbency against DMK. Now the question is whether it splits and helps the DMK, like in some of the polls like Metri's 122 to 32, it is just marginally above the halfway mark, which is 118. Or the ADMK being the poll party and a whole Dravidian party and the main opposition party takes benefit of that, which we feel is likely to be, or a newcomer takes benefit of that. Even in Axis My India, if you add TVK and ADMK, in fact, Axis My India is showing lesser numbers for DMK than us, which means that there is higher anti-incumbency according to them. So the state is up for grabs.
No, but the point is, and this is a question that I want to ask you, because roughly speaking, the Axis My India and the Vote Vibe projections for DMK are roughly the same. Yes. 10 seats
marginally,
here.
yeah.
So they're roughly the same. So both of you feel that there's anti-incumbency, but not enough to decimate the DMK. We're not seeing the DMK come down to where the ADMK was in the last election.
Yes.
So you're saying that there is residual influence left in the DMK to hold on. So there is still
welfare schemes.
Where you
strong
differ is
organization.
who gets that
benefit.
anti-incumbency vote.
Yes.
Now I'm asking, if there is a vote for change and there is such a thirst for change, why is the DMK getting still the numbers that it is getting? Why isn't it being flattened out? If there is a thirst for change, shouldn't it be the DMK that punishes? And both the ADMK and the TVK might fight it out.
I think somebody was mentioning about what was the 1 week prior number, etc. We have been tracking this, sir has been mentioning. Phase 1, DMK was ahead. Phase 2, when we did almost balance, anybody can win. Phase 3, which was April 6th, the ADMK started to gain advantage of this anti-incumbency. Between then and now, Vijay's campaign has picked up. Number 1. Number 2, this delimitation bogey has come in between. Correct. Now, delimitation is an emotional issue in the south, and of all the 4 states, or rather the 2 states, West Bengal and Tamil Nadu, it has some impact over the middle and the urban class. Correct? That's number 1. Number 2 is that Vijay's campaign has picked up, and it seems that he has, if Axis My India poll numbers are correct, he has sought the imagination of this anti-incumbency votes, and he is pulling through, whereas we feel that it's the ADMK which has sought this imagination of this anti-incumbent
Is it
voters.
probable for the AIDMK and a huge number of caste-based coalition parties to completely implode before Vijay? Or their voters voting for TVK because that's what's happened.
1 year vote हट गया, BJP का 15% standalone vote हट गया, ADMK vote 13 party का
Let's put
vote.
that question. I've asked
So
you
that's
that question.
only possible in a scenario when the voters are rejecting both DMK and ADMK.
That's what I'm saying. So either
Both
the TVK
DMK
should
and
be
ADMK.
getting 160 seats, 170 seats. It can't be that it's a tight, like, just a little over halfway. Okay.
The polls
Also,
are
to add-
suggesting.
Yes.
Also, to add one point to it, if the delimitation was the issue, then Vijay should not get that many
DMK
votes
should
because
win.
no, Vijay should not get that many votes because Vijay did not attack the AIDMK as much as he attacked the
Yes.
DMK. So they would think that he would go in an alliance
Okay.
with the BJP.
Now,
So it doesn't
one
make sense.
important
Yes.
issue. See, TVK as a major factor was not visible even on the ground until 4 days ago.
Yeah.
If any of these numbers, 30 plus seats were to be evident, this would be a new phenomenon in elections. Impulsive polling.
Yeah. Okay.
So people have gone in the morning and decided to
Fourth,
vote.
viewers,
And
fourth
until
we
then
will
they
know.
were
But
they
only
were-
AIDMK
will happen.
voters.
Huh?
But
will very
no, sir. But
very
sir, only
very
AIDMK
important
voters.
thing.
How come
No,
you
what-
don't have another
absolutely.
vote?
Okay.
That's what
Correct.
that's what
Okay.
I'm trying. That's what I'm trying. The issue
So-
is not about who wins.
Correct.
Fourth we will
In
know,
the-
but
okay.
the logic behind
Correct. DMK has to take a
logic
bigger
behind
hit.
and
Impulsive
logic
voting.
behind this calculation is not there.
Now the big reveal from Bengal.
Now PMK is a case 30 seats only.
I'm talking about 20
Yeah,
years back.
but
They
here,
contested alone and won
but sir, here
4
TVK was not fighting 30 seats. TVK is fighting all 234 seats. They're fighting it alone, and that's why they have to actually buck the behemoths. Now, what?
That usually
Anand,
does
Anand,
not work.
let me.
Like
Okay,
pride in
okay.
Gujarat.
Now here is another outlier. Axis has come out and said TVK is winning this election.
What is that?
Axis has come out and said, let's look at that number. Can we put that number out somewhere? We've just got the information that Axis has come out and said
here
right
it is.
behind us.
Let's have a look.
There you go. Says TVK will get 98 to 120 seats.
Wow. We only want to say this.
Now, see,
right?
this is what I'm saying. If the voter has made up its mind that TVK, yes, TVK is going to be
He said
in the
TVK
running.
is getting 98
Excuse
to
me,
120
excuse me.
seats. So 92
That's
to
exactly
100.
what I'm saying. Here is where, if one were to
DMK
believe,
is some typo.
if one were to, if one were to
It,
believe,
it keeps showing.
No, it keeps
if one-
showing. No,
so
no.
both are
It
getting.
flips again, and
No,
now
no,
it
maybe
says
both
DMK
are
is
getting.
92 to 110.
okay,
It's not
maybe
possible.
maybe
Yeah,
there is,
because even
maybe there
Vijay
is
won't
something wrong
expect
here.
that.
Yeah.
That's what
Vijay
I'm saying. I mean, if
No,
there
he's
was such a,
already
if
started working
gentlemen,
for his
1
cabinet.
minute please. If there was such a big wave for the TVK, it would have reflected across every poll. If there was such an anti-incumbency raging wave against both the AIDMK as well as now, I don't understand what's going on.
You know what's happening here? They are saying
you
that the
factoring in
ADMK is
Seema at all?
routed. 1 minute. No. 1 minute. What they are saying is that a 40% vote share of the ADMK plus is routed, and that entire shift has happened to TVK. So the DMK has its vote, and all the ADMK
Yes.
India votes have got.
I'm not
So
buying
that's
that.
So here it
No,
is,
no,
gentlemen. Here it is.
There are
DMK.
seats left.
Polarized.
I think there's a typo. Somewhere.
Okay, no, it's not. It's
No,
not.
it's
I've
not.
just. Okay,
234
one
seats.
second. I've just got it up here.
Correct.
Why don't we come and we just show it here? This is what the number is. This is Access My India. Access My India claims to be, of course, one of the most accurate polls around. So here we have it. Here you can see the DMK is at 90 to 110. Vote share is 35%. The TVK 98 120. Vote share 35%. AIDMK 22 to 32 with a vote share of
The
just
totals still don't add up.
23%.
Yeah,
But
234.
out of
This
the
is
race,
massive still.
out of the
Whatever
race,
it is, it is
NTK is
just a very big
3%,
number.
Yeah.
and others are 4%. So this is the outlier poll, but it clearly suggests that there it is. So
Yeah.
it's on our screens right there. Now, viewers, this is what we're being told. 90 to 110 is the DMK. We have the TVK that is in the driver's seat. It needs about 114. If you take a medium of that, you'll probably be at about 110. So just a little shy. And then you have the AIDMK with 22 to 32. So it's a medium of that is about, what would that be, about 26?
Yeah.
And here, unfortunately for the DMK, they fall short of the halfway mark. So it's TVK all the
100
way.
seats. That's right.
And Vijay becomes the chief minister, perhaps the first actor after decades.
Are
and
you willing to
decades.
accept that the entire ADMK vote has transferred to TVK?
Well, you know, anything can happen. That's what I'm trying to say. If
that is the
They are
assumption.
missing Jayalalitha, they are missing their movie star leader.
No
That's
way.
what they want,
No
and
way.
they've got.
But it seems improbable But every time in elections, I've seen that
No,
this
this is
cannot
Arvind,
happen.
It cannot.
Sometimes
It cannot.
things
This
do
whole
happen,
scale
yeah.
vote
No, but
he's
he's
qualifying
qualifying
it.
This is
He's
saying that the unpredictable can happen is what
It's
Yeah,
up in
there are-
Delhi. It's up
sometimes
Delhi.
it's-
Same thing happened. AIDMK will come Congress. They will give him the support and they will.
It
Here
is
you
one
have a
for
situation.
sure. He is converting votes into seats. To what extent he does is, I think,
You believe he's
Now
going
you
to
were
still
only
150
saying why aren't
seats?
people going all
You
the
believe
way?
he's going to
Well,
still
they
150
have
So
gone all the way.
that's precisely what I'm saying.
Tamil
If
Nadu,
people have
114
decided that
seats.
they're going to vote for change, then obviously it's Vijay. They've tried out the other two options for 50,
It's a
60 years.
rejection of
No,
Indian
let me
politics.
finish.
I'm telling you,
For
if
50,
this is-
60 years,
No,
they've
what I
tried out.
find difficult,
This is,
Anand,
this
the
is a
only-
rejection.
No.
This is a rejection
both.
of the ADMK.
No,
and
ADMK
the
is also
NDA. This is
Dravidian.
an outright. No.
ADMK is also
No,
Dravidian.
Anand,
One minute.
Not
DMK
NDA.
is still at 110. What this is showing is that the NDA, those 12 parties, including PMK put together, are not going to get 32 seats. I'm saying the ADMK at its worst has been always at 61.
But that doesn't matter. Look, history can repeat itself in
but you're
different ways.
saying such a huge possibility.
Rahul, it might
this,
be.
quite honestly,
It might
Rahul,
be.
this is quite frankly bizarre.
It's
I don't
okay.
think
If it-
even TVK people are not saying this.
I'm not.
But
Look,
agar ho
one
gaya,
second,
no,
gentlemen.
even in their
They don't have
wildest
to say.
dreams,
They
they
don't
don't
have to
know
One
say.
second.
They
Let's
don't
have
have
order here,
to
please.
say.
One second. Let's just.
And this is
listen.
not
Let
the
me
feedback
frame
from
this.
the ground.
Let me frame this for you. Okay. If the voter believes that there is a problem, that two established groupings have not done it justice, right, for all these decades, and Tamil Nadu needs fervent change, they will definitely back then the pretender to the throne, which is Vijay. They will say, okay, if that is the way it is going to be, we're going to go for Vijay. Now I want to ask you.
No, that should bring the
One second,
DMK down.
one by one. I'm not talking about who it's going to, who he's going to damage. But Mr. Iyer Mitra, then we would have seen a massive wave. And everyone would have perhaps been talking about this in the lead up.
Did you see this wave?
Did we see this wave?
On the ground, I have not seen any
There
wave
is
in Tamil
no
Nadu. Okay,
wave.
there is he